Including, you are not including the RTA, no? You are telling me online. Yes. So RTA is more than RTA. We will start in next 2-3 minutes, and we are just waiting for Dr. Bansal to join us, and we are going to start that. Good morning to one and all. Good morning to my esteemed colleagues on the dais and off the dais and online. Most of our visiting faculty who are external have joined online. We have 198 external visiting faculty, and I'm expecting that within next 10 minutes, everyone will join. 100 have already joined. And we have our RTAs, that is, we call research teaching assistants, for this particular role of visiting faculty who are sitting in front of me, because we were expecting them to be coming here for face-to-face session, because there might be few things which after this session I am going to talk to you for your convenience, because I'm finding out that generally you face few issues and you come to my office. So that session will be of one-to-one with me after this session for 10 minutes. So that is the reason we requested you to come and join face-to-face session. With permission of Dean Academics and my colleague Dr. Bansal, I would like to start this session after this welcome address. There is a little change in the schedule. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Balwinder Shukla, is on official duty for university, all Vice Chancellor meet in Meghalaya. And so we have a consortium of officiating VCs. And our officiating VC, Dr. Bandyopadhyay, today morning itself received a very important international assignment. So he has sent me the wishes to start this session, and what we can just sort out the gaps in case it is there. And he is online looking at us, actually, that in case he wants any input on his way, he can do that. So I am going to start the session with Dr. Sonavane, that is Dean Academics. And after Dean Academics session, so there's a little change. What I'm going to just share here is that after Dean Academics session, that is about effective teaching, learning, blended mode of teaching, learning, course learning outcome, session plans as per your master session plans, the course delivery, the teaching pedagogies, attendance policy and credit hour policy, which is being covered by Dean Academics soon. Followed by that, there was session of e-content to be taken by me, which I'm shifting to the last slot where I am with you for that complete hour. So I'm going to shift that e-content. It will be in the sequence also. Because now I'm preponing this session. Dr. Pradeep Joshi ji and Dr. Amit Hajela ji will be joining you after this session of Dean Academics. And they're going to talk about the teaching, learning and quality of studio-based classes. Studio-based courses, there are institutions where you as visiting faculty are conducting the studio classes. So there might be some queries from your side, but there might be few guidance and mentoring from those both of those domain head and dean. And Group Additional Pro VC Pradeep Joshi ji is going to talk to you about whatever gaps if he's finding in any of the studio classes. Followed by that, we have our Dean FMS and Director ABS, Dr. Sanjeev Bansalji here. He is the chairman for examination committee, and so he is going to talk about the internal assessment that you are doing for your respective courses, the paper setting for the end semester examination and answer sheet evaluation processes. And after that, I am with you. That is Dean Student Support and Academic Affairs, Dr. Alpana Kakkar. And I'm going to talk about starting from your selection process till your billing process. So I will be sharing the complete process, and then there will be a question answer session, because there are many things which, when you come to my office and speak to the main team, that is behind the scene, Sunil Khurana and Dipankar Chakravarti, they are attending you on daily basis for whatever queries you have. We are going to sort out those queries in this session. After my session, there will be a question and answer session. And that is the schedule, a bit of change in the schedule, just preponing, nothing cancellation. So I would request now Dean Academics, Dr. Santosh Shriram Sonavaneji, to join. Just give me a few seconds to introduce you. Dr. Sonavane had completed PhD Electronic Engineering from IIT Dhanbad in 2009. He is having 25 years of experience in educational field and served for 15 years as VC, Pro VC, Dean, Director in many well-known organizations such as DY Patil Technical Campus, Pune, and Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, Pune, Vijay Bhumi University, Mumbai. Currently, he is working as Dean Academics at MIT University, Noida, MIT University, Uttar Pradesh, in fact. He was also first Vice Chancellor of Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University, Pune. His area of expertise is wireless sensor networks, IoT, and mechatronics engineering. He has a successful academia record and published 3 books at international level. He had more than 104 international national publications in his name. 5 students have completed their PhD under his guidance from Pune University and Satyabhama University, Chennai. He is also the reviewer of many international journals, including many reputed names. I would request Dr. Sonavane to please join the dais.
So very good morning to all the visiting faculties joining online and RTS, those who are present here physically. Firstly, I want to congratulate Dr. Alpana Kakkar and her team that during our discussion with Vice Chancellor Madam, this thought process has came that visiting faculties, they should be aware about the processes they need to follow right from beginning, like appointment of visiting faculties, and then till the billing process. And that's why this initiative has came, where it is decided that there will be such workshops at the start of even as well as odd semester, just to make you aware about the different types of processes visiting faculty should be following, so that your payments can be streamlined monthly basis. So every month all visiting faculty should able to complete their task and should able to get their remuneration against their teaching regularly. This is the basic purpose. I also welcome Dr. Sanjeev Bansalji, who is Dean Management and heading very important task of the Chairman Examination Committee of University. So here today, as Madam has just suggested, we will going to cover the entire process which is related to the visiting faculties and RTA. So now, as far as this workshop is concerned, you know that MIT University always has high standards as far as academic quality delivery is concerned, as well as the documentation and record keeping is concerned. So there are two important parameters which every visiting faculty should understand. And another purpose of this particular workshop is to bring the level of all visiting faculties and RTA to the level of our regular faculty. The university is following a rigorous process in recruitment. When a recruitment is taking place, there are many parameters which are looked after, like the university or the institute from where that particular candidate is passing out. PhD is now mandatory across all the positions, starting from assistant professor. Then IITs and high ranking NAC ranking and NRF ranking institutes are preferred, where the student has pursued his education as well as that particular candidate has worked in that particular environment. The purpose is very simple. The purpose is that the processes which are followed within that organization should be of high repute. Like Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, they are following rigorous process. You know that we are having international accreditation such as QAA, WASC. We are ranking A plus in NAC. Yesterday only the QS ranking has released, and again we are keeping our uh, ranking as that of last year's ranking. That is, we are amongst the 1,000 universities in India as well as among the top 200 universities in Asia, and that ranking still continues. Also, this is happening because there are again different parameters on which the ranking as well as these accreditations are evaluated. An important parameter is related to the teaching learning process. In accreditation, it is having about 50% of the weightage to the teaching learning process followed within that organization. And that's why you should know the importance of such activities. So teaching is one of the parameter. Along with the faculty has to do many other tasks. Either to become the faculty, you should know various tasks that need to be performed by the faculty, and at the end of the day the knowledge of the advancements which are happening across the education sector, like NEP 2020 has came now. So there are many new changes which are happening in the curriculum with multidisciplinary curriculum, which is now on the top of all academic reforms. Again, there are many new reforms coming up, multiple entry, multiple exit, like student can exit from any program at any moment. And academic credit, bank of credit, that is also came into picture, where the credits are not only preserved by the institute, but the credits will be preserved by the government, so that the credit accumulation can be made easier, and there should be a complete digitization of this credit bank. So these all reforms are happening keeping in mind the students' future perspective, where the student will have ease to earn the degree. There are many new initiatives which are highlighted out of NEP 2020, like there may be major and minors selected within the program. Like a student who is doing BSc mathematics may have minor in economics or minor in management. Like he can able to select the courses of his choices. There will be 12 degrees which will be earned by the student. As per as today's regulations are concerned, the first degree which the student should earn in offline manner, and the second degree the student should earn in an online manner. So these options are also been given to the student, which were not there before this NEP 2020 came in picture. And I'm happy to see that Amity University, Uttar Pradesh has uh, used this NEP as a very good platform to start their degrees based on NEP recommendations since 2020-21 itself. So Amity is the first to introduce all this. Even when you are teaching to UG student, you might found that we had already formulated the three discipline pattern, where the students are able to take the subject of their own discipline as well as in discipline 3 they will be able to take subject across the disciplines. So these are the very, I will say, benchmarking things in academics which Amity University is following, and you people are really fortunate to work with Amity University and to understand the ethos of these particular processes, because you will going to see that these processes will come from next academic year in other universities as well as in government universities. They are still working on it, but Amity University is quite ahead of all these particular initiatives. So you should be aware about all these things, not only related to your course only. Also, the platform, that is ERP platform which we are using, Amazon, is very well developed platform. And whenever any teacher relates with Amity University, the first thing they have to learn is about the Amazon, because there is a lot of information which is available on Amazon. You should deal with that information, and there are many tasks which today I will going to highlight, which a teacher should prepare for before starting their sessions, and their sessions should be coordinated and directed towards the same. So this is how you can have an effective teaching learning, and that is what is my today's topic. So I will be talking on these points which are mentioned here, like effective teaching learning, blended mode of teaching learning, up to the credit hour policy. So when we are saying effective teaching learning, there are two terms I am using: teaching as well as learning. So the teacher has to prepare the content to be taught to the student, and also there is another word, learning. You should able to see that students are learning out of that session. So it's not only one way that the teacher can go into the class, he can use his PPT and other material, invest 1 hour and then come out of the class and that's it. It should not be there. There should be teaching as well as learning, which should be interrelated. So uh, the planning of the session is very, very important to know what students are interested in, and at the end of the session what the student will able to do as a result of that particular lecture or session. So you have to have a complete knowledge about the course learning outcome and its mapping, which is mentioned in the CD01 format. So before going for any of your session, I request all of you to see that you will be able to download the CD01 format for that particular course. Try to learn what are the course learning outcomes, what are the objective of that course, and the mapping of course learning outcome, because each of the unit which you will going to teach them has certain objectives, has certain object outcomes targeted. So unless and until that outcomes are attained, it is not said that the effective teaching learning has been happened. So the faculties are always keen in planning their session accordingly, and the outcomes are always different based on the the domain of the student to which you people will be teaching. For example, when you people are teaching mathematics as a subject, then when mathematics is taught to electronics engineering student, the outcome is oriented towards the application of that particular mathematics for electronics application. Now when this particular subject is taught to mechanical student, the outcome is oriented towards the application in mechanical domain. Similar subject when it is taught to BSc physics student, the outcome is expected towards the physics related application. So what are mathematical equations the students are studying, and the types of numericals they will be going through, they will be directed towards certain outcome, and that's why it is essential for each faculty to understand the outcome. You might have heard this name, outcome based education. What it means: we will be always emphasizing upon the outcome that will be attained by the students at the end of that session. And that's why The learning outcomes and its mapping will guide you to plan your session accordingly, how much percentage weightage that particular unit is having, how many number of sessions you have to give to unit number 1, unit number 2. You can plan through this CD01 format, and you can decide what type of content you have to deliver. So this planning, I will say, this is a pre-planning before start of your first session. This is an essential activity. So you have to visit the syllabus and master session plan along with the course learning outcome. The master session plan is nothing but again a guideline to you, like when the course is for certain credits, how many number of sessions you have to conduct against that particular credit. We are having a policy, like if it is a 3 credit course, you have to have at least 3 credit into 15 hours per 15 weeks. So 45 plus 3 sessions to be conducted across that particular subject course. So this is what is our policy, and you need to understand all these things before planning for your session. Continuing with effective teaching and learning, another important parameter is that you have to interact with the regular faculties also. Like, you should understand how the recording of your classes is being done, how the attendance policy is there. Like, you know that the attendance is open on Amazon only for 24 hours. You will not able to upload the attendance after that. So this type of small thing you can able to understand if you are dealing with the faculties. Also, you should also see that how that particular faculties are planning their sessions, what type of acting learning techniques that faculties are using during their sessions. Why I am telling this to you, because these all things are related with their promotion. So at the end of the year, when they will be submitting their PBAS or the promotion form, these all things are mentioned in that, and this will be cross-checked through LMS again. Like, you are also given an link to upload the e-content on Amazon. So this e-content is thoroughly reviewed by uh, Dr. Alpana Kakkar's office as well as the student. So it is an academic matter which is delivered through our office, and then only your payment will be released. All this process, Dr. Alpana Kakkar will going to tell you in detail. The point I want to state that whatever you want activity you are doing, do it once. Don't repeat that activity. If you are doing once the digital content or e-content uploading, upload with proper content, upload with the content which will be useful to the student, which will be approved by the concerned HOI and the academic office. This is what I want to say out of this. Then you have to have use of technological aids such as multimedia presentations and many other types I will tell you. So these things you can understand by having a dialogue with concerned faculty. Now, to make these sessions interesting, you can have many teaching pedagogies to be followed during your session. Like, there are different types of pedagogies: direct instruction, where faculty can use the one-to-one lecture, then they can use slide presentation, they can have explicit teaching material to be delivered, drill and practice, demonstrations of various activities. Then you can have guided and shared content also, like you can ask student to read something, you can have some listening sessions, viewing thinking, guest lecture, multimedia presentation. These are all comes under the pedagogy of direct instruction. The second pedagogy is interactive instruction. The meaning itself suggests that the activities which will be interact having a direct interaction with student, like involvement of student with some question answer session or some discussion type of sessions, this activity will come under this interactive instruction. So here student can learn from the peers and teachers to develop their social skills and abilities. So to organize their thoughts and to develop rational arguments. So they will be able to argue on that particular topic by getting some knowledge through faculties, also getting some social skills to be developed. Like that today's student, they are habitual of going through e-content. They will just open the laptop and they will see how the delivery is happening. But you have to make them interactive, because through corona pandemic it has seen that the student concentration time is not more than 7 minutes on the screen. Even if you are delivering any content through PPT, you will find that after 6 7 minutes, students will get distracted and he will try to see somewhere else to just have another type of thought in their mindset. So it is very important that in a class to have concentration of students throughout the that session, and that can be brought by following different types of pedagogies in your class. So here the faculty can use debates, role playing, then panel discussion, brainstorming activities, peer partner learning, peer assessment, discussions, laboratory groups, labs, think, pair, share type of techniques, cooperative learning, problem solving, then tutorials, interviewing techniques, conferencing, team based learning, seminars, all such activities the faculty can target so that the students' interest within the session can be continued. So, this is called as interactive instruction. There are indirect instruction also, in which the faculty can use problem solving, case studies. You can ask them to read out of certain materials, then reflective discussion, writing, concept formation, concept mapping, tutorials. All these pedagogies can also be brought into your session plan, because in your session plan you have to mention how you will going to conduct that particular session, what type of pedagogies you will going to follow. That uh, that's why I am explaining you the different types of teaching pedagogy. Then independent study, which is an important parameter nowadays, because in the COVID time, faculties were giving many e-content to the student. They were giving links for many of the resources, out of which student can download by their own, and they were able to study. On the similar line, nowadays the same thing is happening. No student is interested to go and have access to the physical books. They are more interested in e-books to download on their laptop and just to have study through that particular e-content only. And that is why the faculty can use many techniques, like they can give essays as an assignment to the student. They can have computer aided instructions to be delivered to the student, journal, uh, then they can have research projects, assigned questions, learning centers, and much more things. The next important pedagogy is about blended learning, which is an important pedagogy. So where student may be using different tools, like they blended learning means you will have a combination of classroom teaching as well as online learning to be clubbed together, and this blended platform, now the students are more interested. Okay, so they will not be going to listen if the PPT sessions are delivered through PPT or chalk and blackboard, use of chalk and blackboard during the session. So blended is an important version. Now you can see in blended, you can have the visual and spatial tools to enhance the core concept of understanding. You can have the advantage, like the abstracts can turn into concrete experience, and you can have natural collaboration with the students. Also, digital learning will be an important parameter where students will find their own personal space and time to learn that particular content, not necessary to have the digital content to be learned in the classroom hours. Also, they can get a personalized learning experience. So, the blended mode of learning proves to be very important activity, where it will increase inclusion of the student, increase learning outcomes, which is the major important aspect of my session, and increase student insights also. And that's why this blended learning, which can be delivered in various ways, like you can have face to face training, virtual classrooms, you can use webinars, various links, simulations, assessment, one to one on one coaching, all these aspects you can use as a part of blended learning. So there are many advantages and disadvantages of this blended learning, but yes, the advantages are more, and the evolution of e-content or digital content has proved that blended learning is more advantageous to the current era students. So when we are talking about learning outcome, now the after going for effective teaching learning, now we have to have the learning outcomes which are to be measurable. Okay, so how the students are encouraged to learn, to think, and then think to learn. So this can be done with various ways, like we are having assessment technique like formative assessment, summative assessment. You can have active reading and online quiz. You can have many other like self-assessment techniques as well as exams or lectures. These are all assessment techniques by which you can able to understand how effectively you have delivered your sessions and what is the learning outcome of that particular sessions. Okay, so these are all the different techniques. So a learning outcome should be measurable, observable, and specific statement that clearly indicate what a student should know and be able to do as a result of that particular learning session. This is nothing but an learning outcome which is measured for each session. So whenever we are uh, having any of the semester, at the end of the semester we will be having the outcome assessment activity, which is again you can visualize on Amazon, where these learning outcomes are measured. Everybody knows about Bloom's taxonomy, so I will not give much more on that. So your session should be able to deliver out of this Bloom's taxonomy indicators like remembering, understanding, applying the thoughts, analyzing, evaluating, and more creating type of sessions. So these uh, levels are at the higher side when you will be teaching the student to create something out of that particular activity. My next topic is master session plans. I think you people have already seen this is what is the master session plan, when you will get the content on Amazon, like the module name, description, the percentage weightage. You can see the first unit is having 20% of weightage, number of sessions to be conducted, and number of sessions topic wise which are actually conducted. So last second last column you have to fill after completing that particular session. So here you have to see that when the weightage is mentioned against that particular topic, you should plan the session accordingly, because this master session plan is an guideline for you how to conduct that particular content within the semester. If you give 10 11 sessions for first unit, then you have to reduce the session for other unit, or you will be requiring additional session for which a special permission has to be taken, and on Amazon again you will be unable to upload the attendance because that will be an extra sessions. So these are all things which you have to have uh, to be considered during the planning of this master session plan. And the HOIs, because of short of time I am unable to show you on Amazon. The HOIs are able to see the progress of your sessions on the master session plan on your link. So all courses are visualized for the academic office, which we are observing, like how the sessions are lagging, how the sessions are completed, and every month or at least twice in a semester we will be sending and report to all the HOIs how to plan for additional session which were missed by the faculties or visiting faculties because of their leaves or because of any holidays which are coming across the semester. Okay. The last point is regarding attendance policy. So you should able to understand now the attendance policy also. The we are expecting in Amity that student should have 100% attendance as per UGC norms. 25% relaxation is allowed, but that is allowed for certain purpose, and that's why whatever may be the reason, if student will have less than 75% attendance, he will not be permitted to appear for end term examination. Uh, or there is some condition that if because of illness or because of a valid reason the student is remaining absent, and which is less than 5% attendance is required, then we can allow them with maximum B plus cap with the permission from Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam. So whatever score he may have, he will have maximum B plus grade to be obtained for that particular course. So this is the attendance policy which we are maintaining, and you can see the percentage we are giving them some advantage also if they have keep attendance more than 75%. Like if they have 100% more than 95% attendance, they will get 5 additional marks. Up to 90 to 95 they will get 4, 85% to 90 they will get 3, 80 to 85 2, 75 to 81. So students are getting advantage also because of attendance, and this the advantage of this particular policy is that the students are coming regularly to the sessions. No need to force the student to come and attend your session. So that is the advantages which teachers are also getting, and the students are also getting ultimate advantage by keeping their attendance at a higher side. Again, Amity University have the credit hour policy, which is again specifically mentioned, so I will not take more time. The semester is actually planned for minimum 16 weeks. So each semester, before start of every semester, 2 months earlier, the academic office is disclosing block academic calendar, which is giving you complete idea how the activities will be aligned along with examination, along with the start of the semester, end of the semester, SAP activity, 3C activity, everything is mentioned, along with convocation also. So these all activities are mentioned in block academic calendar, which is released earlier to the commencement of that semester. And this year we will be sending SAP activity calendar, block academic calendar, as well as NTCC calendar of the entire year in next month itself, so that everybody will be knowing what type of activities are there in which month, and students will not miss out anything out of that particular activity. There are different components for the credit distribution. You know that every course is having LTP and SW components. L for lecture, T for tutorial, P for practical, and SW for self work or field work. So here, when 1 credit of lecture or tutorial is given, it means that there is a 15 minutes of direct teaching or tutorial, that is for every week for 1 credit. So there will be 16 weeks which are allocated to you. So 13 hours of engagement is at least expected in 16 weeks. So this is the meaning of conducting 1 credit for lecture or tutorial. Now, if it is 3 credit course, just multiply this with 3, you will get the number of sessions which will be coming for 3 credits, 4 credits, likewise. Now, for practical, 1 hour is not equal to 1 credit. It is 50 minutes into 2. So, 2 hours is equal to 1 credit. So, that's why 100 minutes will contribute to 1 practical hour. So, in a semester of 13 weeks or 16 weeks, you have to have at least 26 hours of engagement within the semester. Okay. So likewise, 1 credit of field project or field work, it is calculated as 3 into 50 minutes for engineering and technology as well as science, and minimum 40 hours of engagement for science and engineering, and other program falls under NTCC. Likewise, 1 credit of humanities will be, which is again an field work based activity. It is 4 into 50 minutes of project or field work. So it constitutes about 54 hours of engagement in a semester. Okay, so this is how the credit is policy is there. For more clarity, you can go through all the policy and guidelines of Amity University, and most importantly, you can refer to student handbook, where you will get more content and more information about the academics. So I hope you have understood a complete uh, details of the academic activities followed in Amity University. If any question answer, your we will take it later, not an issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. As this is almost the end of the semester for the senior students, that is 20th of April, and still for first year who are teaching to the first year students, still you have time. So we thought of conducting this visiting faculty workshop. There were two important reasons which already are shared by Dean Academics, but I will repeat that all this, I think the discussion that is being done, the delivery of this lecture might have sorted out those gaps in your teaching pedagogies or policies about attendance and policies about the credits, because some of you when meet us you are not clear with what is the meaning of LTP, or what is, if it is L is 1, if what if L is 2. So I think all these sessions that we have planned today, it's a very quick kind of thing that we are going to do, because this particular session can be conducted for many hours. So I was requesting Dean Academics sir by sending the slips that please wind up, because this is a topic which can take hours and hours for discussions and understanding. And there might be some question answers which we'll be taking at the end. So now for the next session, I would be requesting Dr. Pradeep Joshi ji, and let me just introduce him to you, because you just heard about the teaching pedagogies, and it is very important for those visiting faculty who are taking studio courses. So teaching pedagogies for that particular set of the group of VF, we have requested Dr. Joshi and Dr. Hajela to help us for this session. So, Dr. Pradeep Joshi is having multidisciplinary professional background with qualification in management, technology, and fashion from leading educational institutes, including IIT Delhi, FIT New York. He has more than 30 years of working experience after post graduation. Dr. Joshi has a rich experience in areas of academic administration in university setup, setting up of institutions, besides teaching, research, and consultancy in the areas of marketing, research and strategy, design studies, fashion management, global fashion and apparel industry, and manpower training for retail chains, fine arts, and performing arts. He has been associated as a consultant with leading apparel and fashion brands and retail organizations. Dr. Joshi is working with MIT University since December 2008 and is currently designated as Group Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, MIT University. He is also Director General and Dean, Faculty of Applied Arts, Fine Arts, Performing Arts, Visual Arts at MIT University, Uttar Pradesh. Uh, Dr. Joshi has authored a book titled Apparel and Textile Exports Strategies for WTO Era, published in 2006, and many research papers in international and national journals of repute, besides presenting papers in international conferences. Besides it, he was editor of Apparel Fortnightly, and the CV is really long, so I will just make it brief, Dr. Joshi, and I would request you to please start your session. Over to you, Dr. Joshi.
Thank you, Dr. Kakkar, for the introduction. At the outset, I would like to compliment the team of Dr. Kakkar, Dr. Sanavane, for organizing this very important session. As I understand, every year and at least twice a year, there are the orientation programs happening for the regular faculties. But it's very good initiative to have an interaction with the visiting faculty members. So to come to my topic, I've been asked to speak briefly about the studio-based courses. The reason being, I had the domain which is a primarily creative domain, fashion, fine arts, performing arts. The moment we talk about this domain, I would like to say that primarily we do have a lot of courses, and besides many domains, architecture, design, communication, many domains have got the courses which are primarily studio-based courses. As was being told by the Dean Academics earlier, that one will find the LTP, you will find more focus on the tutorial and the practical courses. So slightly it's unique. So I would like to share my screen, Dr. I'll just share my screen. Is it visible? Is my screen visible?
Dr. Joshi, it is visible.
Okay. Yeah. When we say that these courses primarily are studio based, at least what I feel that these are the courses which provides the experiential learning, and the students learn while doing it in the classrooms. And there is a, as I mentioned, there is a more component depending upon the specific courses. Faculties will find same faculty, visiting faculty is coming to teach theory courses, and the studio-based courses may find that the bifurcation in terms of the LTP may vary from the theory course and the practical courses. And these are the courses which have got very comprehensive pedagogical approach. Here, the role of the faculty is very different, which I wanted to specify when I'm interacting with the visiting faculties, that we have got number of hours, maybe in a succession 2 hours, 3 hours, or a 4-hour session for a studio-based course. The objective is that the students are going to learn while they are working on an idea or the concept. Now, it means faculty need to encourage the experimentation, and that is something very unique, because once I am explaining in the beginning the objective of the course and the output which I am expecting, then actually the approach is going to be more of the mentor and to work with the individual students or the student groups exactly. That is a difference while we see it and compare and contrast with the theory courses. Here, one may specify in the beginning why we are doing this course, what is expected, and what is going to be deliverable. And we say that in design, when we talk about today, we talk about providing a solution. It's not only the creativity, but it's actually the providing the solution, may it be in the any field, may it be in the textile, may it be in the fine art, may it be in the furniture design, may it be in the communication design. Actually, we say that actually one is working upon the ideas, not just sake for the creativity, but to provide a solution to customers or the end users. That's why we keep on seeing that a lot of innovations are happening. It means, having said that, I'm not taking a theory class, but having said that, it means the faculties have an important role to actually get involved with the concepts of each and every student and each and every group. So that's why it is a big challenge, because I may be teaching a theory course also. So the approach in the theory may be very structured, which I have to take it up because I have got the modules well defined. But in practical, once I have said that we are going to, suppose I'm just taking an example, if we have said that we are going to work for the new range of the garments for the spring summer 2024. Now, actually speaking, this is a brief. An output will be a range in the end. Now, whole semester, suppose if it is a 3-credit course with say 0, 1, 4, for example, so it means there are 5 hours every week. It means students need to work on the design process. Everyone, like each brand or each store has got different range. So expectation is different from each and every individual. It means faculty has got a multifaceted role. They need to work in the shoes of everybody and work with all of them and see that their progress is continuous and they are actually leading towards the final end goal, which is there. Now here I'm not reading it out, but just say start from project brief. In most of the cases, we have got tutorial, you got one-to-one discussion, finalizing the concept, reviews and feedback. And the end is actually is display, exhibit, presentation of the work. That is the important point, because what we say is a continuous process, and we say that's learning not directly only from faculty, but the amongst the peers also. That is, students also learn while they are working in a group also. And as I already said, that LTP structures are different, which will be varying from course to course. criteria of the assessment is also different in these courses. Students have got the more hours for work, and the final assessment of the course culminates with the conduct of, it depends whether it is ending with the viva, display, exhibit, or the practical examination also to assess the learning outcome in the end. Like, I'm just giving an example, like in our domain, it varies from domain to domain, but in our domain, when we say for the practical courses, end term examination is for 50, and the 50 are for the internal assessment. There the bifurcation is, one is having a project, then there is a practical based test, then there is a home assignment, and then there is a viva, and attendance marks are anyway there. Now when we say project or the test or the home assignments, those are the component. It means the faculty member who's offering that course in the beginning need to very clearly identify that how the person is going to assess and communicate it very well to the group of students. Even I'm just giving an example for the our domain. While the end-term exam is happening for 50 marks, then too there are the well laid down criteria that, as that given example, that everybody is working towards coming out to the range in one case, then it means there's a bifurcation, that one is working on the concept, then there's a development, design development, innovation, then how the person is applying his skill, and then finally how the executing. So even in the end, the marks, when they are 50 marks, they are not in lump sum or in one go. It means there is a very clear cut bifurcation which we have done, that these are the components which need to be seen while one is assessing or the evaluating for the final assessment. So the criteria are well laid down for these studio based or practical courses domain wise. Now if I come that what is actually expected from the faculty, a couple of points I had just mentioned, to clearly define objective of the course and the project. The list of experiments should be clearly defined. Key areas of assessment and the expected level of performance should be clearly marked by the concerned faculty. Students should be given enough choice because it is more working on their own. So options should be given. They can pick up, as it said, somebody can pick up any brand, somebody can pick up any store, some idea in the boundary of the overall gamut where the course is operational, but there is a choice should be given to student to explore, and then ideally they are actually there to apply the concept for the developing, and the students are to be guided to come up with the solutions. And primarily, as it said, it is more about the problem solving approach and the guidance, requisite guidance. As it said, there's a lot of efforts are required by the faculty member as a mentor. I'll give another example quickly, is of the performing arts. For example, when we talk about the courses like vocal, tabla, dance, Kathak, Bharatnatyam, we got many visiting faculties when we have offered these courses. Now, if there's a class is of 3 hours or 4 hours, it means actually one knows that there are not much there in terms of theoretical component. It means if I am explaining what is a raga, then actually one is going to practice upon that. It means one thing is very important, which I was reading when the earlier colleague Dean was mentioning about the retention, that you find even in any course, there's a time limit after which these students lose the direct interest. But while when we talk about these courses, practical and studio, if one need to see that there is a, we got number of hours as the practical or studio based course, because one knows that actually one need to keep on practicing, exercising, or working on the ideas during primary their class time. It means if I am teaching a course in performing art, it means so I need to rehearse, I need to practice, I need to make people do again and again the same thing which I am teaching. So actually, I am not saying it's challenging, yes, but it's challenging, as we say that sometimes you have to challenge students to upscale their bars also. So the key thing is here, which I would like to say for the faculty members, the colleagues who are coming as the visiting faculty member, to very clearly explain the output. When I teach a practical course myself, I always tell in the beginning that this is a course, this is the outline, this is the LTP, and what are we going to do? If we are going to do one project, one assignment, one test, one is explaining that we are starting from here, and I always say, what is your output? In one class, I said, what is the output? In the end, you have to produce a garment. And whole semester is going to see the design process. It means there are the well laid down steps which are there, which have been specified to student in the beginning classes. Then couple of classes take place where the students are coming out brainstorming, and one is coming out and finalizing their ideas. Then they move towards the finally execution. So all these steps are important, right from explaining to the brief to the student to working with them on the concept development and the finally execution. So this is something which I wanted to say. If there is any question, I will be happy to answer. But I know that all the visiting faculties who are associated with the amity are being given brief by the respective faculty coordinators also to how to take it further. But yes, one need to know what is the peculiarity and why these are called as studio courses. What is the difference in terms of the pedagogy and in terms of the output, and in the end, what is going to be the learning outcome of these courses. With this, I would like to end. Thank you very much.
So this session, particular session for studio is continued because Dr. Amit Hajela's input are yet left. Thank you, Dr. Joshi. This is Dr. Amit Hajela, Director and Domain Head, MIT School of Architecture and Planning and School of Design, is an architect and urban designer involved in professional practice, academics, and research since last 32 years. He is a fellow of the Indian Institute of Architects, fellow and founding member of Institute of Urban Designers, India. He is currently expert member, UGC NEP 2020 IDP Committee, Ministry of Education, expert member, CCPD, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Accessible India Campaign, expert member on Smart Cities Program with Ministry of HUA, and has been involved in several other graduate studies or urban development and governance, local area planning, public space design in the Department of Urban Design, SPA New Delhi for over 5 years. He currently has is a PhD guide for 10 scholars. So I would request Dr. Hajela, please, to take this session forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Kakkar, for giving us this opportunity, and Dr. Sonawane. It's a very meaningful session that we have organized for our colleagues. And I would like to build upon from where Dr. Joshi has left, and I think it's made my job easier. Design education is very peculiar to its very essence and the outcomes expected as part of design teaching. The fundamental aspect of design teaching is that while it is a core course in all our design disciplines, whether it be architecture, planning, design, or fashion design, or performing arts, it's all dependent on a hands-on experience, which is being given to the student to get a creative output from him. The objective of design teaching is not to advocate or invest into advocacy, but to help student develop his idea and translate into a reality. Most of the courses that have been structured as part of the studio courses are normally 1 hour to 1 credit as prescribed by the statutory body, which is Council of Architecture. And being a core course, it is being informed by 2 areas, because there are an array of subjects and disciplines which informs design. It's a very complex entity in itself. So there are an array of subjects which inform. So there, fundamentally, we could distribute these into 2 areas. One, which is called as the definitive subjects or definitive fields, which are more objective in nature and probably more aligned to scientific aspects or technological aspects of design, which is integral, which could possibly be done through a measurable component of using the right kind of scientific tools, softwares, and so on and so forth. And the other one is the interpretive fields. Interpretive fields are more subjective in nature, and those interpretive fields where you have your own view, you have your own perception, you might have your own set of experiences or experiential aspects of any subject, which probably would also inform. And this is very important while we engage with human beings at the core of our engagement. At all levels of design education, human being or human centric environment or human centric built environment is a sense of design teaching. So ultimately, it is how we deal with the user and probably meet the needs of the user becomes very critical to our consumption. And that probably gets structured as part of 4 E's that I normally put it together. One, first aspect of the E that we say is to explore. You explore what is that is required for a particular design outcome to be delivered. The second aspect is to experience. I mean, any designer would have his own experiences connected to the kind of problem which has been given to him. And then he would evaluate both his experiences and what he has explored and translating into an experimentation. Now, what is critical here as part of the studio teaching is that you have to look into multiple dimensions and aspects of design integration. It is not limited to one particular solution, and there's no one size fit all kind of solution. So you need to explore multiple alternatives. And this is what is very critical to the design studios and design education, that most interactive crit sessions are aligned towards evaluation of those multiple options that are available to make a holistic outcome in terms of the design contribution, which probably serves and meets the need of the user at large. So here user is very critical, and the current concepts that are being deployed is the kind of understanding that one has is by virtue of the critical thinking, but now it's slowly shifting into a new dimension, a new area, which we call it as design thinking. And design thinking has become the global buzzword across the globe, where most of the Fortune 500 companies have been investing in design thinking as a approach which started in 2008 in the Stanford University, and now is being pursued by very many universities across the globe. And probably this is something which is absolutely aligned to the user needs and specific aspects of user needs. And here we follow a very specific process of engagement with the user, and we document those aspects, which is basically empathizing with the needs of the user. So the most important attribute for any good designer is to be empathetic to the needs of the user. And ultimately, we design for people. So therefore, if we understand the needs of the people well, we will be able to deliver to the requirement holistically. Now, what is important in design studio and design teaching, as a part of the studio, is that you don't give a situation which Dr. Joshi also mentioned, which is that you mentor a student, you don't tutor him. And in that process, you help him evolve his idea and concept to translate into reality through these various iterations and combinations that are there. And to sum this up, I would rather say that it is more aligned to the process and not to the product. The critical part of design teaching and design education is to orient student to the right process of design as to how you get along with these processes of integration of multiple definitive and interpretive fields, which informs the design and ultimately meets the needs of the user at the end to come up with a comprehensive outcome which has got great value to an innovation as a part of the creative output. So from that point of view, design education and studio interactions are very, very lively. They make it very significant to the growth of the student at large. And probably it has to be oriented and directed by virtue of 3 different steps of its delivery. One starts with the pre-design stages, where you explore and you document things in terms of ground realities, which could be aligned to the typology of the work that is being carried forward, the kind of knowledge and information available in that area, and the documentation of the ground realities as part of the pre-design stages, followed by the design stages, which are all different 3-4 stages that could be available in a semester. Usually we end up having about 4 design stages, fortnightly structured, and followed by a very definite outcome as the part of delivery at each stage, which is part of the progression which is being structured. And for each structured stage, we need to develop a very specific set of rubrics. Now, these rubrics are very important as part of the continuous evaluation process as to how the merit of the delivery that is expected at each stage is being evaluated, and the students are being given the right kind of justice to the kind of work that they produce. And that rubrics probably is also makes the assessment process more objective. So rubrics are a very integral part of the design studio, and it's being structured or curated specifically to the requirement of the delivery at each stage. All these design stages are followed by a pre-final stage where it's a culmination of the understanding and assimilation of the knowledge and the kind of options and which are being presented for the evaluation, followed by the final presentation. And here it's very significant that there are three aspects which we focus on. One, that how do you present your big idea? The big idea can be presented through oral or written communication. It could also be presented through graphic communication. And the graphic communication that we use is the medium of drawings. So there is a specific language that we speak through the language of drawings. And what is imperative here is that the correctness of that language is so important for anybody to universally read what is the intent of the design. So therefore, learning to speak that language appropriately hence becomes very, very critical to our consumption. And that's what is being taught in the initial years, that we learn to speak this graphic language and then present our ideas using that language appropriately. At the end, it is a very, very enriching experience for the student and for the faculty, because you get an opportunity. It's not only a one-way transmission, it's a two-way traffic where the faculty enriches himself by getting exposed to some 40, 50 solutions to a problem. That's the beauty of design teaching. There is no one way of looking at a problem, and which no other discipline offers. It's the design education which gives you that opportunity to get 50 or 40 odd different solutions to a problem, as whatever be the strength of the class, and different ways of looking at the same problem. And the second advantage is that while students learn and grow and engage in this creative pursuit, I think it becomes a very, very holistic experience. While we structure the progression, which is very important from the first year to the final year, and the complexity of that progression is also organized so that it translates into comprehensive learning. So at the end of it, I would like to conclude that design education, the crit sessions need to be programmed, they need to be structured, and they need to be really curated. The idea is to handhold the student in the right way, giving him the right direction and not to tutor him. So that's about all. Thank you very much, Dr. Kakkar. That's all I had to share.
Thank you, Dr. Hajela. It was a great support. Just hold on for a second. Any questions if visiting faculty who are conducting the studio courses? I think because Dr. Hajela and Dr. Joshi may not be available for my QA session at the end. Is there any question? Just write in the chat window and you can raise your hand. And after this session, after Dr. Bansal's session, I may take those two questions. So I would request Dr. Joshi and Dr. Hajela to be here at least for next 20-25 minutes. Thank you.
Surely, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Though it should be till end of the session, because you also have visiting faculty. So you should be here for the end of the session. But in case of any emergency meetings that you have, please stay here for some while,
Sure.
like 25 minutes. So next session is about examination and course evaluation. And as I mentioned that we have chairman of examination committee with us. So I would like to invite Dr. Sanjeev Bansal ji, but before that, let me just introduce, because all those VF who are working with him may be aware of his profile as Dean also and Director also, but to introduce with all, Dr. Sanjeev Bansal is Dean of Faculty of Management Studies and Director of MIT Business School, MIT University, Uttar Pradesh, spread over Noida, Greater Noida, Lucknow in India, and Dubai, London, and Tashkent abroad. Under his leadership, the management domain has scaled heights and is given top rankings by national and international agencies. He is chair of Examination Committee, FRC, Student Grievance Redressal Committee, Student Discipline Committee, and is a member of many committees, councils, including Academic Council, Executive Council, Admission Committee, University Research Council of AUP. He is an admired academician and his acclaimed career span of about 34 years in teaching, research, and consultancy. He has been invited to be a part of several prestigious academic professional bodies. He is an avid researcher with 225 plus research papers in prestigious journals to his credit. He has authored 54 well received books and has successfully guided 29 research scholars to produce works of immense educational impact so far, and 8 scholars are working with him right now. He is on the editorial board of several national and international journals. He has been awarded by many awards, including Lifetime Achievement Award, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Lifetime Achievement National Award, Rashtra Ratna National Award, Best Outstanding Achiever Leader National Award 2020, Excellence in Academic Award, Best Achievement Award by various other bodies. Apart from areas of management, decision sciences, cybersecurity, he also likes to explore the vistas of spirituality and quality of work life in varied aspects. During his distinguished career, he has many accomplishments and is hailed as an institutional builder, a loved teacher, and an ardent researcher. Sir, I would request you to come for your session, please.
Thank you, Dr. Alpana. Thank you so very much, Dr. Alpana. My only introduction is I am a teacher by choice. And in that capacity only I am here. So I was just going through this beautiful quote. Do not just be who you are and what you are. Move, evolve, change, and grow. Many of you may be wondering why we are all here to bore you, to waste your time, to waste your Saturday. You are all so happy, and why we are all giving this these sessions to you, which many of you are well versed with. Many of you who are there online, offline, there are RTS present physically here. Many of you must be having experience of more than 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and still we are trying to educate you. So idea is not this. I started my journey as a teacher in 84 when I just joined my college. So after that, I decided I will not be taking any money from my home. So I started taking tuitions. So tuitions is also as a visiting faculty only. When you are doing home tuition, it's a visiting faculty charges. After that, I started visiting faculty in 89. So when I did my master's, I started my visiting faculty assignments, and times were different. After PhD, it became, after joining university, it became more this thing like when we used to utilize our intellect in various assignments, commercially also. So visiting faculty was a very common, that's what a teacher can do. The only thing which we can do is teaching, and the other assignment which we can do in addition to our regular assignment is visiting assignments only. So that is what we used to do. And timings were different. This so-called Google was not there. I am speaking about 90s. So 95 after we had, otherwise we were working in DOS and other things only. So the teachers used to be the only source of knowledge. Right? And teaching used to be in a different way. So we were following the Upanishads, we were following the older techniques, we were teaching one-to-one, we were teaching in visiting faculty, we were teaching to the classes, but there were no cross checks. And methodology was also the old methodology which we used to follow since ages. After 95 and especially in 2000, the things have changed now. Dr. Sonwane was speaking to you about blended learning and other teaching methodologies. This is something which is a newer form of methodology. See, teaching cannot be changed. Teaching cannot be changed. Teacher cannot be changed. If you are a teacher by choice, you will remain a teacher by choice, and nobody can educate you, believe you me. The only thing which I can be emphasizing today is like now to do it more better. Dr. Sonwane told you about the methodology which we have at MIT. We are having now, see, we are a top class university where we have certain things which number of universities are not doing. He was speaking about outcome based education, and you will be shocked to know that this is the mandate of UGC, that every university, every higher education institution in India should be having an outcome based model. But to my knowledge, out of 43,000 plus institutions of higher education which we have in India, only maybe 3%, maybe around 1,000 institutions are there who are in this framework. Recently, we are being awarded, renewed our VASC accreditation for 8 years. You must have seen it in the newspapers. VASC is Western Association Schools and Colleges, and when we were given this accreditation in 2016, we were the first university in Asia, and many of you may not be knowing. But when we were given this accreditation, the thing which they appreciated most was our outcome based education. They have now renewed it in 2023 for 8 years, 8 more years. This is a big achievement, keeping in mind that there are 42,000 institutions in India which are still not accredited, which has become now a mandatory requirement. And when I speak about change, there are a number of things which are changing. I was speaking to a colleague, old colleague of University of Delhi, who is in a known college of University of Delhi, that I was asking whether you have got now the new boards, because till 2005 in that good college of University of Delhi, we were having chalk and duster only. Then she replied that now we are having green boards also. And we are now speaking about smart boards. You are, I mean, in MIT, you are all using the advanced technologies. Education, in education, we are changing continually. The latest reforms are in examination. There was a time when we used to evaluate the students only on the basis of their 2 hours, 3 hours, end semester examination. Of lately, we started continuous examination, continuous assessment, and now in every known institution, every good institution, every benchmarked institution, we have examination divided into two parts: continuous assessment and end semester examination. Gone are the days when we used to assess the students only on the basis of end semester examination. This is a new change. It is a positive change also, because if you are studying hard for the entire year, for the entire semester, and we are evaluating you only on the basis of those 3 hours, which you may be physically fit, mentally fit, emotionally fit, or may not be. There are a number of issues which we have, and you agree with me. I am a teacher of quants also, so I personally feel there is actually no correlation between your intelligence and marks scored. There may be a student who is too good and may not be scoring, maybe just passing the examination with passing grades. There may be a student who is not as good in understanding. He or she may not be knowing the knowledge. I mean, may not be knowing the depth of the student subject, but maybe scoring 10 GPA or maybe scoring 95% marks. Whereas a student who is very good, very attentive, regular, and maybe scoring fewer marks only. So there is no correlation as such. So continuous assessment gives you that platform where you will not be marked only on the basis of end semester. We have a very defined continuous assessment system. Sir has spoken to you about, he has told you about our formats. I mean, you all have seen your syllabus. It's given in a defined format where LTP is defined. At MIT, we do not segregate lectures and tutorials. So lectures and tutorials are having the same weightage for the classes. In number of universities, we have tutorials given in a different format. Here we are saying, if you are saying 1100, so it's basically two CUs you are having, and lectures and tutorials both will be given the same weightage. Right? And we would be conducting the tutorials for the entire class. Usually in number of universities, we conduct tutorials for a select group of. So we divide the class into groups. That is what a general format is. So first thing which you have to see, I would be covering the necessities for examination, which I face as a in charge of examination committee of university. Yesterday only we were taking some meeting day before. I think CR's meeting was there when I asked how many of you have got your results announced. number of students raised their hands, and me and the controller of examination both were slightly shocked, because we were assuming that except the BBA examinations, every result is out. Then when we went back to the examination department, when we found out that there are some answer sheets of one particular domain, in fact, only 3 faculties, because of which the entire result was pending for BBA. Now, one thing which you have to realize, all of you, is that there may be only one paper, one person, one individual who can affect the entire system. Now, this is a very welcome step by Dr. Alpana Kakkar, and I really feel that if these kind of workshops should be given next time, in the very beginning only, when the visiting faculties are taking a charge, then it will be very good, because many of you are who are RTA, you are well versed with the systems of MET. You know about our nomenclatures, you know about the systems, credit system, blended learning mode, and all. But there may be plenty of teachers who have joined us, but they may not be knowing about. Why I am saying so? Because there's a demark, there's a different kind of I will not demean anybody, but like in number of institutions, number of practices are still not offered. Number of institutions, you simply go, you simply teach, and get your examination and all those things done. So, from that point of view, we are different, and we have to be. MET is different, and this just because of this uniqueness only, we have reached to 22nd position in this ranking of NIRF, which I'm definitely sure is going to improve this year. And again, when I say NIRF ranking of 22nd of MET University Uttar Pradesh, this is again out of these 43,000 plus institutions of India only. And whenever I am mentioning any such data, all of you should be remembering that our journey is only 17 plus years old. We would be completing 18 years of journey as a university this year in 2023 in the month of June. Having said that, so when I am requesting you all, so I only request all of you that if you are a teacher by choice, then you have, do not listen to what we are saying, what kind of roles are there, what kind of LTP is there. I only request that you have to only act as a teacher. So when I say you are a teacher by choice, then you are a role model, you are a benchmark, you are, you have sacrificed number of things because you have chosen this profession to educate people. And when I am saying that, to teachers, irrespective of kripa of Goddess Lakshmi, you will be always at the top. Believe you me. You may not be as wealthier as many of your students are. You may not be in that position as many of your students are, but you will be always in the top strata, because you are the giver, you are the teacher, you are educator. So your responsibility is much, much more. Many a times you may be feeling that the students whom you have taught last year only, they are now drawing better salary than yours. But these things are not for us. Right? You may be feeling that we are evaluating the examination sheets and what we are getting. Now, I have evaluated the answer sheet for 3 rupees also. I have taken the visiting faculty assignments in University of Delhi with my choice for 50 rupees also. It was I'm speaking about time before 2000, but it's immaterial. This is basically the choice of yours, because we have chosen to be a teacher. And when I am saying that, so when you are taking visiting faculty assignment, then definitely you are having more exposure. One thing which you may lack at time, if you are not working in a regular position, sometime you may feel that number of responsibilities you may be getting as a teacher may be missing. But when you are into the visiting assignment, your exposure is more, your pilot learning is more. So from that point of view, you have to utilize. It should not be the only way of earning a little bit of money which we get. I am just saying. So my request to all of you is that from the examinations point of view, first thing is you have to take care the syllabus which you have seen. Choose your internal assessment component very carefully. Now, internal assessment component, we have a facility. If you want, you can change that also. You can change that scheme. In our internal assessment scheme, we have 30-70, 40-60, 50-50, and in 1 or 2 courses, we have 60-40 scheme also. UGC is now requesting you that, like, UGC is basically pushing that we should be having more marks for internals. Earlier, in the earlier times, we used to have only 30-70, 30 for internals, 70 for external. Now we have changed our framework and we have changed our course curriculums in such a way that in number of courses we have increased the internal assessment ratio also. And one more request of mine is that, like, whichever institution you are teaching, if you feel that course which you are teaching is something which is more worth for internal assessment or certain things should be changed, then we are all open for your suggestions also. So you can always route your request to the HOI that, like, this is a course which I am teaching, but internal assessment is for these many marks. So I suggest this, because every institution has a right to have their board of studies meeting, so where they can just put these suggestions given by you. I'm sure all the institution may be asking you, but in case if they are not, you can suggest those things. So first thing, whenever you are teaching something from the examination point of view, please see the course curriculum. In that curriculum, please see the internal external ratio, right? And choose your components if you are having that flexibility. If it is already been given to you, course, I mean, semester has started, it's been given to you to teach, you may not be having that flexibility, but please note down all the things which needs to be changed. Now, the internal component, there is a simple way. First is, I mean, you can just choose the simpler path. Now, when I say the simpler path, the problem with the simpler path is traffic is always more. When you choose the path of righteousness, traffic is always lesser, believe you me. So you would be in a better position. That path would be tougher, but so choose the internal components carefully. Do one thing which I would like to, I mean, now I have reached to that age where I can see with my experience that sometimes we, or most of the time, we love our students a lot. We feel that poor students, they should be getting good internal marks, they should be getting good marks and all those things. This sympathy or empathy should be there, but if you just keep the longer vision in your mind that we have to take care of their future, if this is subject like applied, this is applied paper which is going to be useful for their further course of action in further studies also, and if we are giving them easy marks, then they may not realize the utility and importance of that course. Then your marking would be of no use if you are giving them higher marking. Secondly, higher marking or any kind of extra marking is not appreciated for one more reason, because in examination, very few courses are there where we are following absolute grading. We are not following absolute grading, we are following relative grading. I'm sure all of you must be knowing about the relative grading, and when we do the relative grading, it may be because we have B plus. B plus is equivalent to the 7 grade point, is basically at the mean score. Now, if the mean score of a course which you are teaching, now if you have given 50 marks internal is there and you have given 50 on 50, and the end semester marks has reached to now 98, 97, 96, then it may be that your mean score is reaching to a level of 92. So if the mean score is 92, you are giving B plus at 92, you can well assume that students who are getting 84, 86, 88, maybe in lesser grades, after even scoring 88 marks, you may be having equivalent score of 6, right? Because the real kind of marking is when you have the normal distribution, which most of us do not follow. The normal distribution, if you permit me to teach, is very simple. When if there are 3 students with 100% marks, then there should be 3 students with 0 marks also. If there are 3 students with 98 marks, then there should be 3 students with 2 marks, which is rarely possible. So if you have, let's say, from 40 to 100, if you just make this normal distribution curve, so 40 is passing grade. So my request to you is that you can be liberal in your marking, but one thing which you have to make sure is that you should also follow the kind of things which we follow in CBSE and all, that your paper should be made in such a way that some distinction should be there for the good scorers. So you can say 85% marks should be distributed among all the students. I mean, it should be a paper where 85% student may attempt, but there should be some difficulty level of at least 15%, which only few of them can do. You have everything online now. So internal assessment I have told you about, like you can choose those things, and please be very careful about internal assessment, and do not cultivate cultivate in the student this habit of, mass, you can say mass copying and all other things. So even if you are taking a class test, please tell them that everything is fine whatsoever you ask, we are providing you. But when it comes to the test, test means test. So test should be conducted like a test only. In the engineering domain, in the science technology domain, we do the testings in minor and all. We basically conduct minors in those ways only. In number of domains, we are basically requesting the visiting faculties or and all the faculties to conduct their class test and everything as per their convenience. But my request to all of you is all these internal components should be dealt with very carefully. And UG classes, I will not emphasize much, but in the PG course, definitely they should be struggling for marks. They should be knowing the value of, I appreciated one mail I received from one of the PhD scholars whom I teach. I am teaching PhD classes. These are the only classes now I can teach. So he wrote a mail to all the people who matter. He said, I am a PhD scholar of corporate category and I am being asked to give the quantitative assignments by sir in handwriting, because I make it mandatory that all the assignments will be in handwriting only, and I try to give as many as questions after every module. So he said, I was not assuming that as a PhD scholar also I have to work so hard that I have to write the assignment. And why handwriting? Because you cannot CCP, cut, copy, paste. Then you have to, even you are copying, then you have to write. So this is my first request for assessment, right? Then when you have conducted your classes, the next thing is submission of marks. Though we have a very good defined system, but you all must be knowing that on the very last day we closes the attendance, and then within 3 days we have to receive the marks. So when I am saying we, I am now speaking as a examination department. So you have to give your marks. I mean, you have to upload your marks. You should be maintaining an Excel sheet continuously, and you should be maintaining those marks there. One more thing, examination is a wonderful parameter, but uh, it's questionable also number of times. So when you give the marks, any question can just come and just say, madam was not fair to me, teacher was not fair to me, I have given these assignments and I have given this thing, but I was not marked. So whatever you are marking should be with a proper record. So you should be having proper evidences. Now we are all human. To err is human. We can all make mistakes. No, not a problem. Somebody has given an assignment, maybe missed. So no ego. If somebody has missed, somebody has given and ask you to correct the score, it's fine. So please take care of your mails also. Please, before submitting the final marks, please cross check that everyone has given the test, not given the test, or something like that. In the online system, there were so many problems because we were not able to focus properly. But now, like, since you will be having the answer sheets in hard copy, so you can always cross check and find out. But my request to you is, before submitting the marks, after the attendance is closed within those 3 days, please cross check every student. And one more request which I feel many of you may feel slightly awkward also is, if you come to know about anything where we as teacher were at fault. For example, somebody has submitted the assignment and we missed it. I told you, like, it's possible. Instead of defending it, instead of saying to the student that, like, now it cannot be done because everything is closed and all, my request to you is, please have that courage. Please walk to your HOI. Please say that this was something where there was a mistake. I accept, and these marks should be updated. So this is internal continuous assessment, right? Internal continuous assessment is done. Thereafter, you have to put your question papers. During that period only, we will be asking. Now we are asking you to upload your question papers. So question paper you have seen, everything is defined. We have module system. If you are having more standard deviation than the permitted, then your paper will not be accepted. So this paper system is very well defined. But my request to you is, if we are giving you that this paper should be uploaded before this time, then please do appreciate. You have to do it. Why it is so? One problem which we are having with visiting faculty is that, since core faculty is a part of our department, So we all are well versed with their whereabouts, everything is known. But visiting, in the terms of visiting faculty, number of times we are not as communicating to you as we are doing with the regular faculties. Right. I mean, for RTS, this problem is not there because you are all part of our system. You are all with us, so we can always communicate to you. But especially the visiting faculties who are online, who are here offline, who are not regular faculty members, number of times, I mean, at institution also we are at fault. We may not be communicating to you properly, or we may have missed something. So please take note of the academic calendar in the beginning only. If you are not being given, then please see that calendar from your institution. Uh, though in the visiting faculty letters which Dr. Alpana Kakkad is issuing to you, you must have seen everything is very crystal clearly mentioned. But still, if you're not knowing about the calendar and you are first time teaching, then please keep in touch with your program leader and HOI to know about like what is the basically requirement. So if the last date of your submission of paper is 25th of March, then please adhere to that. And why do we have to adhere to that? Because the moment you will submit your question paper, now as a visiting faculty, we will not be asking you to moderate. So our set of moderators would be different. And you know that we have a second layer where we are having a set of moderators. So once your uploading is completed, thereafter we will be asking the moderators to moderate all the question papers. So if your paper is not uploaded, the moderation of that domain. Now, one more thing which if you permit, uh, when I say corruption, so corruption is not only exchanging bribes or something like that. I personally feel the basic most definition of corruption is if somebody is defaulting in the responsibility or assignment which is being given to him or her. Now, in the entire show, if there is an event going on, if one sweeper forgets to broom the floor and the entire event got messy, then so because of one person's fault also, the entire system can be in trouble. And it usually happens if there is only one defaulter. Now, for example, in the let's say in the domain of law, if there are 500 papers to be submitted, if one person is not submitting the paper in time, we cannot conduct the moderation. So moderation will not be completed. If moderation is not completed, then I cannot send the papers for printing. Right? Because I mean everything is basically into a chained rule. There is a chain. So this is my request that if you are given this, I mean, if you are requested to make the question paper, then please do that in the format. And we have a defined format for that. We already have defined format for 60 marks paper, 70 marks paper, and number of things which when you are making, everything is crystal clearly mentioned that this paper should not be from the last 2 years, repetition should not be there, and all of the things. If you need, the students should be using calculator, it should be clearly mentioned on the paper and other things. If you need programmable calculator, then please mention programmable, otherwise mention non-programmable, and so on. Then once your paper uploading is done, your paper is moderated, then we are not asking visiting faculties to for the invigilation duties, right? This is basically not now we are not doing, but in RTS you may be asked to do. That's a different part altogether. But the classes which you are teaching, once you will be finishing the paper, let's say the paper is on 15th of March. So as a practice, we get it scanned and everything by 16th March, and your paper would be ready in your portal of evaluation, online portal of evaluation, within 2 days of conduction of examination. And as per the university norm, we expect that the paper should be evaluated within 5 days. Now, as a practice, we were finishing the result in 15 days earlier. Now, during the COVID, the system has slightly flawed because of many reasons, and we are not able to achieve these targets now. But because the one basic reason is number of times the examinations are happening simultaneously and classes are being held simultaneously. This is basically happening in these 2 years especially. So I can understand like the faculties are also involved who are teaching. They are also involved in examination system also and other things. But if you are a visiting faculty and you have some time, you are not teaching otherwise. So otherwise also that we have to adhere to the submission date of answer sheet also. I just told you I will not name the faculty, but it's only one visiting faculty who has missed the evaluation. Now, we have also changed the entire evaluation scheme at our end also, where I have requested my examination department that now we will be having a color code and alarming system where if a faculty has not started after 5 days, the first evaluation, then we will be giving a pop-up on the screen and then we will just keep on adding it. As a practice nowadays, what we are doing is, so if one faculty has not done and he or she has 85 sheets and there are 5 more faculties in that stream, so we would be distributing these 85 sheets, uh, divide by 5, 17 each, to all those other faculty members available, which is very unfair. Believe you me, I feel which is very unfair also, because number of faculty members complained to me that, sir, we were in time, we were the genuine one, we started in time, we ended in time, and the moment we finished off, since our slot was over, we were given more assigned answer sheets. So I fully understand that, and this is, but we have to do it because we have to get the results ready and all those things. But this is because of one black sheep. So always, whenever you are cribbing about why we are being asked this thing, if you ask me as a teacher, with due respect to Dr. Alpana and Dr. Sonwane, if somebody asks me that somebody says me that you have to be ethical or you have to have integrity, I will feel offended, because I say that I am a teacher and these things are essential. Nobody should be telling me about, because when I'm a teacher, I have to be. I'm from the old school, so I believe if I am being asked to teach ethics, this is wrong. If I have to teach ethics to research scholar, this is again a wrong phenomenon. I personally feel I do not like, because I feel that research scholars or teachers should be. We should not be teaching them. But again, all these rules, all these things are being given because of one wrong person, maybe with just one black sheep. So that is all from my side, friends. So when it comes to examination, this is the most coveted, most honored phenomena process. And my request to all of you is that please adhere to the deadlines, and need not to say that you have to be not judgmental in your evaluation. You have to be very careful. Uh, Number of times we miss out certain things. For example, in the older days when I used to evaluate sheets, especially from School of Open Learning, so I used to get currency notes also attached, Dr. Sonwane, along with that, and with notes. Sir, please pass कर दीजिए, मेरी शादी होने वाली है, मेरी माँ बाप मेरी पढ़ाई, and so on. So if you just before evaluation, please go through the guidelines. It's clearly mentioned use of any symbol, religious symbol, any request, anything we do not appreciate. So if you feel there is a matter which needs to be reported, please report it. Certain things which are excusable, if you feel this is basically a human error or something, this is not intentional error, it's fine. But if you feel there is something which is intentional, then do not think that like the life of the student will be spoiled and all. But if you feel that this is a thing which should be noted, which should be put into the notice of examination department, please do it. Thank you so very much, friends.
Thank you so very much, sir. There are 2-3 questions for examination. And before that, I would like to thank you about such minute things that you have covered, because we at the SA office are facing those things, because one of the VF forgot to upload the internal marks for 6 students out of 69 students. And because of that, internal assessment was not uploaded or submitted, and the faculty went for his marriage. And whatever location he was in, or because of his, that function and all, he missed, or the technical errors that he's now putting up. But that issue came to this office very late. And because of that, students suffered, their result was on hold and everything. So Thank you, sir. You have covered very, very minute points related to the examination. There is one question from Dr. S.K. Pachori, IAS retired, and he is our AISS visiting faculty. He is asking whether visiting faculty can be a part of the moderation board. But I just want to make this thing clear that you are not going to moderate your own paper, the course that you're teaching, as per the lines that you have mentioned here, that you are going to finalize the paper. Sorry, in that case, if I am a faculty for X subject, I am not allowed to do the moderation of that particular course. So I will be given from my area some other courses to moderate. Sir, over to you for this answer.
Thank you, Dr. Alpana. Thank you so very much. One more thing which you just said, certain things which I am saying, for example, if you ask about evaluation, other things, I have done evaluation from the deathbed of my mother also, and other issues also, like, so, I mean, that's what I say. When we are a teacher, this is our chosen path. So, come what may, we have to do it. I mean, like, for example, I told you, at times there may be an error, but my request to all of you is, if there is an error, please accept it and move ahead. Because, one minor fault of ours can cost a student the entire life also. Dr. Puchari, the question which you have asked is, like, we have a defined system of putting up the question paper setters, which we do from the end of streams. So in every domain, we have different streams defined, and every stream coordinator is having those rights of defining the paper setters. And there is also some problem which we are trying to eliminate, because as of now, stream coordinators see all the name of the faculty members who have taught that particular course, maybe for one class even. So we are just trying to remove those things. But paper setters is being defined by the stream coordinators. Now, when it comes to the moderation board is approved by the university's competent authority. The vice chancellor approves it, and that is being given on the basis of recommendation of the dean. So, as a dean of faculty of management studies, I recommend the moderation board, where we have some defined board members, and we also co-opted members from different areas on the basis of recommendation of their HOIs. You can be, you individually, Dr. Pachori, you can be a moderator for sure. But again, we have to co-opt you in the moderation board in the area which you are basically doing the thing.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question from a VF Charu from AIPT. When you were talking about that paper setting should be done on time, so she has written that she has received the paper setting job just a day before the deadline. Though I have answered the faculty that I will be speaking to the HOI of that institution, but if yes, sir.
Dr. Charu, this is, again, like, as I was telling you, that you may not be at the fault always. Like, for example, I just told you that many of you may have given the evaluation of answer sheet in the very last moment. Like, for example, we were having few courses of management domain which were not being evaluated by 2-3 faculty members only. And when we saw that despite of all the requests, all the pleadings, the faculty has not evaluated, we disengaged the faculty, and we nominated new members. So it may be that, like, the question paper which is being asked by examination department to you may have been given to somebody, and this somebody must be recommended by the institution only. Now, there are only few chances maybe that faculty may have left now. When the name was given of that faculty to upload the question paper, that time that faculty may be there, or some changes. But I can just apologize for this thing, like, if it has happened. The only request is, if you can get the time and you can adhere to the timeline, please do it.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much. These were the questions about the examination. Thank you for the responses. And
thank you so very much, Dr. Alpana. Yeah, you can just share my mail ID with them. Any case related to examination, because as a policy, you cannot write to controller of examinations. The controller of examination, Department of Examination, actually, we say out of bounds. We cannot go there otherwise. So anything where you feel that there is something related to examination, you can just put forward your request to me through your HOI. But always follow the protocol. I mean, you should be giving the concern to your HOI, and they can always put it forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So this is the time for my session, and I'm going to start your journey from your selection to your billing process. It's not in the full screen mode, right? Is it now in the full screen mode? Yes. So in this session, I'm going to cover the selection process, and I would request all the external VFs who have joined online and all HOIs, please focus on few points, because focus on these points because few points are connected with HOI, and approval of HOI is important at respective timelines. So I'm going to cover your selection process, your conduct of the class, which is already covered, the academic part is already covered, and then how you are going to upload that class for your billing process, right? And in between, there are few things which are manually done, and there are few things which are on Amazon, how to follow up with all the things and whom to approach in the respective issues, because I'm receiving that someone was writing to me that Amazon didn't work sometime. So was it on attendance time or was it on class time? It is not mentioned there. So I'm going to cover almost all your queries that I think can be, but still if you have, after this we can continue with that. So starting with your selection process, I'm going to cover this appointment process, then your selection letter that you receive, then requirements for the timely billing process, and Amazon steps from application to billing. I'm going to cover. So this is the key summary of everything that I'm going to cover. So this is that HOI raise a requirement and send the CV of the experts through email. Then the VF committee members meetings are conducted with the HOIs, and accordingly the CVs, we receive, we see, and then based on that, we either select or reject the CV. And many times the meeting is also conducted with VF if required. But this process is changed from the new academic year, that is 23-24, because now the committee is going to meet each of the visiting faculty whom we are going to give the appointment letter. So before this, that interaction with the committee will be important for every VF now. Application, when as soon as we say, we give that green signal to HOI that, okay, we are going ahead with this VF, then the Amazon process starts and the application is filled on Amazon with your CV and with your PAN details. The application is verified at DINSA office and it is processed and then sent for the approval of Honorable Competent Authority. As soon as we get the approval of that, you get your appointment letter. An appointment letter, I'm going to discuss that also, because there are few things which are really, ignored by many of the VFs that I have observed in last few months. So appointment letter is then given to VF. An appointment letter has all the details of the course that you're going to do, the LTP of that, and related PSDAs and other matrix, how you are going to do the assessment as continuous assessment. Dr. Bansal was giving you the details of that. Everything is mentioned in that appointment letter, and it is signed by the respective HOI and by me. The HOIs, HODs are suggested to ensure that the visiting faculty recommended by them does not have a teaching load of more than 6 hours per day and 15 hours per week at MAT institution. This is a message for my colleagues, HOIs and HODs, and for you as a visiting faculty, please note down that per day you can take only 6 lectures and per week you can take only 15 lectures. So it was observed that, in past, just this semester itself, that some visiting faculty have gone for XYZ reasons in between for around 20-21 days without any information to our office, and without any information to the respective institution also. And then the classes that piled up were requested to be taken when she joined back. Now, when she joined back, the number of classes cannot be more than 6 hours a day and cannot be more than 15 hours a week. And if you're requesting to conduct multiple classes, that is 3-week loss and the week which is going on, the 4-week classes within that coming week will not be possible. So please note down that it is 6 hours per day and 15 hours per week for a particular VF. 15 hours is this. As per guidelines of visiting faculty, this is the committee, and this committee is going to meet you in case you are continuing to join as VF. Of course, my RTAs are going to join as VF, but I'm talking about the external VFs. If in case you continue, this committee will be meeting you now for the next semester. Now, appointment letter after selection, there are few important key points that I have covered in next few slides, and each is important. Please note down. The committee examined the proposal of HOI, as I mentioned earlier, and as per your expertise, this process is done, and accordingly, the approval of Vice Chancellor is taken. After the approval of the competent authority, HOD will offer an appointment letter to the visiting faculty. A copy of each of the appointment letter with the acceptance and undertaking of the visiting faculty should be sent to this office, Dean's office, to HR and Accounts Department for record. That is, your HOI sends that to us, all the copies. And there is one important point here. When you are selected as VF, and if you don't get your appointment letter within 1 week, start writing a mail to the respective HOI and the VF coordinator of that department that you have not received the appointment letter, right? Because I'm finding that throughout, I'm getting each week some appointment letters, and those are not issued, but although the billing is done for 2 months. So collect your appointment letter within 1 week of your, joining the university. Once a visiting faculty has been approved by the competent authority, the HOI HOD can, in subsequent semesters, request for the renewal of appointment of such faculty. In case the feedback is good, in case institution feels that faculty has, really added to the knowledge of the students, and the feedback is really good, and student academic discipline is increased and learning is increased, so definitely that renewal process will be accepted. In case of renewal, a copy of online student feedback, as I mentioned, and a report with the regularity should be enclosed. Appointment letter should be signed by HOI and DINSA before issuing. After issuing the appointment letter, it is mandatory to upload the receiving copy of the same. So you have to receive, and that copy is to be uploaded by the respective institution because that will be visible at our end then. And in case internal faculty is deployed as visiting faculty in like RTAs, in other institution of amity, the honorarium will be paid only if the teaching load is above the prescribed teaching load in the parent institution as per above guidelines. This stands for RT also and our internal faculty also. So for example, as a faculty, if I have a load of, for example, 16 is my maximum load, and I'm taking 16 load of courses, then after 16, if any course is allotted to me, I can go for that, and there are different honorariums for that. As RT is getting, same the faculty gets that 300 to 350. Now, punching in and punching out is must for raising the bills. And this is actually a very big problem because manual bills are not accepted. And many a times, institution head is writing to me that we have forgot to punch. So I am really, sometimes it is really a question mark that how can we forget to, exit the campus or enter the campus? So entry and exit, something which is very basic. And you know that face recognition machine is there. We as a faculty, even from, all the staff, all faculty members, till Vice Chancellor also, come and we show our faces to that face recognition machine. And then when we leave the campus, we do the same. Because it is marked against our name also that we have not done that part. So if you are expecting that manual punching is done, in our case, we are allowed only 2 times we can do the manual punch. Otherwise, our immediate head is not going to approve that and it will be leave without pay. Same applies to you also. In case visiting faculty is not doing the punch in the morning or in the evening while leaving the campus, institution heads are writing to me because you have written to the institution head that I had conducted the classes. You can verify it from the students. I have marked the attendance. You can verify from the attendance record. But somehow I am not in the campus. So I don't think attendance is also possible if they have not marked in time, if they have not done, right? Attendance is also not possible in that case. But still, when you suppose you are in the campus and you have marked the attendance, because your entry is okay but your exit is not okay, bill will be stopped. And when bill will be stopped, then again you start writing that I forgot to punch. And in 1 or 2 cases we have seen that this is very frequent. In 1 week, Monday to Friday VF is coming, but the punch 3 times, 3 days in a week, faculty is forgetting to punch. I don't think that is actually possible, because when once the system is known that this is the entry and exit system, it can be for 1 week, but it cannot be for the entire semester. So I am requesting all my colleagues, visiting faculty members, that please do not write to clear your bill of the day when you are not doing entry punch and exit punch. Then in faculty, if the faculty is coming 25 minutes late in the class, then the class will not be considered as held and zero amount will reflect in the bill for that class. And this is not only for visiting faculty, this is for all of us. We are also marked as class not held, core faculty also get that mail immediately that you entered the class at this time. Right? So your coming in and out is through the biometric, and our biometric is at 9 in the morning. But still, if we reach to the class late, then one office writes a mail to the to the faculty that you entered the class at this time. And so attendance of this class should not be marked. Right? So the same thing applies here because it is connected to the billing. So I am focusing these points that where we get hindrances in clearing the bills. Each lecture session will be of 55 minutes. If lecture conduct duration is less than or equal to 25 minutes, then the full honorarium will be deducted for that lecture. If any of the visiting faculty who are in this particular semester with us and were the visiting faculty in the previous semesters, they know this point very well, that if their classes were conducted for 12 minutes, 13 minutes, less than these many minutes, the deduction was done. And also, till odd semester, you were supposed to record your lectures, if you remember, that you were recording your lectures and your recordings were seen in SAR office, and my team, Mr. Sunil Khurana and Mr. Dipankar Chakravarti, had seen almost thousands of videos to clear your bills, right? And that particular process, though it is a very, very, heavy task to do that, but it was found that, in recordings, that was not solving the purpose. Why the recording of the lecture was done, it is can be seen in 2 ways. One, that when the students are not present in your class, in particular class, when you are conducting your class and the student is absent, that student can then view your lecture while sitting at home or anywhere, and can, there might be some emergency or there might be some situation when the student is not available in your class. So because he is not physically present in the class, will not be marked attendance. So attendance loss is already there, but then he is losing your learning also. Whatever you are teaching, that learning is also, academic loss is also there. So that was the purpose of your class recordings. And that was for core also, and for, because I have also taught a subject where every class was recorded. So that class recording, students were really giving us a good feedback that they are getting, they can revise your class. Even if they were there in your class, they can just go through the class again and can revise that lecture and can find out what was not clear in that class. But when they are seeing the class again, they were clear with those topics. and they were clear that what can be the questions asked in the next class. But still, when we observed that, after doing that memoir task of viewing thousands of videos, that lecture time was either less, or faculty is not actually, conducting, the faculty is beyond the camera or not with this. It is not that your face is to be recorded. It is your, at least voice is to be recorded. So there were many, many glitches that we found, and it was not useful for that to be loaded on any server, because that is giving a server space also. And also that students are not getting benefited, because university is student centric. Our honorable founder president, our honorable chancellor, vice chancellor madam, always focus on whatever we are doing should be, the outcome should be for the benefit of the students. So if that was not the output, so many of the VF think in terms of, thought in terms of that it is only for the billing. No, it was not for billing. The purpose behind it was, because we were recording, it was a pandemic batches. That pandemic batches never faced the university, classes and all. So their grasping power and their focusing powers and everything was a question mark. Me being Dean Student Support, I know how I have interacted with parents, with the students, thousands of students, thousands of parents, keep on writing to me and calling me that I'm not going to send my ward to the campus because of this situation. I don't know. So we, ensure them that all sanitization issues are, solved and everything is being taken care of. So you have to understand in terms of when the students are coming after that, that recording purpose was continued. It was not dropped. And you, just to, share with you in case any one of you are new here, that when pandemic started, Amity University has, immediately switched within 24 hours from the manual physical mode to the online mode, because we were ready with the all IT systems. So there was not even a single day academic loss. And in line of that only, it was requested to all the faculty, for or visiting everyone, that please record your lectures, so that that can be revised and that purpose can be solved. And so that we are writing to the parents that not a problem, they will, adopt the system when they're coming here, and accordingly also we are providing them the lectures. But then we stopped doing that. First, we in phase one, we stopped it for the core faculty, because not only in visiting, in some of the core lectures also we found the same, and we stopped that. And then in phase two, we stopped it for visiting faculty also. But there was a condition kept that, okay, because of the recording, when it comes to billing, we have seen these 25 minutes things were very much observed in those recordings, that how many minutes of class actually is being conducted. So that recording helps us in billing part also. And there also there are a lot of grievances then we received, that your deduction is done because of the recordings and all. So deduction was not done because of the recordings. Deduction was done because of the conduct of the class, right? So, but anyway, the purpose is never to deduct any amount for any of the faculty who is working hard with the student. So we switched it to that, okay, let's stop this, and honorable authorities definitely approved it immediately as soon as it was proposed from our side. And then it was that, okay, e-content was required before also when the recordings were done, and it is required now also, because immediately during pandemic, university switched to the blended mode of teaching learning. And there many workshops were conducted to tell about the quadrants, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Quadrant 1 is about this and 2 is about this. I'm also going to brush up that in my e-content part, though Dr. Sonavane has already mentioned about blended learning. But then e-content, which was required since then, is continued, and we as a core faculty also are submitting our e-contents. So when it was, billing was then connected to the e-content, and we said that, okay, because e-content is the prerequisite for any of the faculty, so before the commencement of the semester, in our case, in case of the core faculty, in case of the visiting faculty, within 10 days of the joining, visiting faculty must upload the 100% e-content for all the modules. if you have uploaded that 100% content, our billing cycle will be smooth. Actually, we need not collect every month as we were collecting recordings. It is one time thing. So we are going to release your salary as core faculty salary is released on 1st of every month. We will fix up a date to release your salary. I'm going to discuss those points. There are a few intricacies that I'm discussing in between, giving you some examples. So visiting faculty is required to conduct the session as per LTP, you know, and Dr. Sonavane has also mentioned about the credit hour policy. I hope you all know your credit hour policy. If you're conducting a class, a course with LTP where L is 1, T is 0, P is 0, then 1 into 15 plus 3. 15 weeks you have to conduct, so 1 into 15, and plus 3, 3 is assessment. So total 18 sessions you have to conduct. Similarly, if L is 1 and T is 1, or L is 2 and T is 0, P is 0, that means 2 credit. In that case, 2 into 15 plus 3. That is the credit hour policy which was mentioned by Dr. Sonavane. And in case you have any doubt in the credit hour policy of your respective course, you can ask me today itself in the QA session, or can talk to your respective head of the institution or PLs of that institution. So you have to conduct as per LTP, because when we do the billing, we verify everything that you were given this course, the LTP of this course is this, how many sessions are conducted as per the credit hour policy, right? The visiting faculty can conduct the session as per the prescribed load limit. We have already shared with that your load limit, and then it is the responsibility of the faculty to mark the sessions as per LTP, that is attendance marking, depending upon the nature of the course. So that means if you have seen that when you mark your attendance of your class, it is you have to select lecture or tutorial or practical or studio and all. So that is to be mentioned there. And then my team tallies it that, okay, LTP was 1 lecture in this week and 2 practicals, but faculty has conducted 4 practicals and no lecture. So those extra 2 practicals are not intimated to this office. Why is this change? So that, makes delays, because then we have to write to HY. HY has to give us the answer for that. So then we receive the mail that this was the reason she had not conducted her 2 practicals in the last week, and so on and so forth. So these are certain things that needs clarity. And if this system, if you follow the system, there's no problem to clear your bill cycle in a fixed slot. Okay, so if any institution requires extra slots, now let me tell you, extra slots means, because 15 sessions per week we said are fixed. So in case you are selected a bit late, maybe after 2 weeks of the commencement, so you have to cover that loss also. And that loss can be covered distributed in any of the weeks, like in your first week, 1 or 2 extra lectures will be given, and then in next week and so on. It may exceed that limit. Or there may be a scenario wherein the faculty, like in our cases of BS and BC, wherein BS and BC is taught to entire university students. So there, the request of HY is coming to us that please increase the limit of billing from 15 to 20 or 21. So HY has to write, that is respective HY has to write that they want the increase of the limit, which is not in normal cases. It is like for your cases when LTP is fine, you are joining us on time, we are not going to increase that limit, right? But in such cases where we have appointed that VF very late, or in case we have appointed VF on time, she left in between, and the course is left and that sessions were not covered according to what it should have been, then HY write to me with all the details that what that particular VF has left and not completed in as per LTP. Then we stop that bill, the last bill of that VF, and then we discuss about that how new VF is going to cover that, how many hours extra load is to be given, so that billing should not stop if the person is going to do hard work for covering that loss, right? So HY recommend your monthly bill after verifying 100% e-content. And before that, you are going to add your classes, complete classes. I have complete slides to show that actually, because that is the major part that I want to cover, that how you fill your bills. So when you conduct your class, then you mark your attendance. But sometimes it is seen, and I receive mails that you have conducted the class, but attendance is marked by some other faculty. I would like to know in my end of the session whether there is any case like this with you also or not, because I have received that if a faculty is conducting, so we cannot, the system is such, the automated system is such that your employee ID, your ID that we are giving to you as a VF, if is not connected to that attendance, we will not consider that you have conducted the class. Because that is the only thing that is telling us. In our office, sitting in our office, we are not going to your classes. So sitting in our office, we only come to know about the class when it is that you have marked the attendance. That means you were in the campus, you conducted the class and you marked the attendance. And that's how such kind of issues come which delay, that some other faculty has marked the attendance, some core faculty or PL has marked the attendance. That is an issue. And then I am going to talk to you about how you can improve your bill cycle. So whatever you have conducted your classes, you have generated your bill, but your bill is to be approved by your HOI, and HOI has to verify that 100% e-content is submitted. So now after the recording stopped, we have requested HOIs to send me a zip folder of your e-content of all the modules. So all the modules that you have prepared the e-content will be zipped in a folder with your name. It is already mentioned to them that VF name dash, the nomenclature is given already. And then that is submitted by HY to this office, and we verify it with that it is uploaded on ALMS or not. That means when HY has sent, means the content is correct. So we are not verifying your content. We randomly do so, that we open and check that, because we consider that our my colleagues HOIs have already gone through the content, because the course specific content is there. They have gone and they have approved your content, and after they have approved your content, they are sending us that content. So when we receive, we check whether this content is provided to the students or not, because student support will check whether students are benefited or not. So e-content is for the students. So we cross-check whether it is uploaded on ALMS or not. Students are getting benefited from your e-content or not. It is so, I'm repeating, it is not only for the purpose of billing, that you give the e-content at the time of billing. So e-content is to be submitted before your classes start actually, or in your cases, 10 days within your class starts. So if each month you are sending some e-content, that means student, if that class is already over, student didn't have that content with him or her while your classes were going on. So this is also observed that VFs are sending their e-content at the time of billing. Module 1 content now, then module 2 content now, and content is coming for billing. Let me tell you, content is not for billing, content is for students, to give it timely to the students. And this will also help you to improve your bill cycle, right? So student attendance is linked with employee ID. I have already shared that. VF shall mark the student attendance. This is also given to you. In case there are no students in the class when a visiting faculty visits for the scheduled lecture, the visiting faculty will not be eligible for an honorarium for that session. In such cases, only conveyance for that day will be given. It is the responsibility of HOI HOD to ensure that the visiting faculty is informed in advance if any class is cancelled or rescheduled, in order to avoid any inconvenience to the visiting faculty. Visiting faculty guidelines already have all these contents. I have just picked up few key points to share and revise. In case the class is scheduled but the students do not attend, the HOI will send a complete report to the DINSA stating the reasons as to why the students did not attend the scheduled class, and if required will take appropriate disciplinary action against the students. Conveyance is to be paid once in a day. That means if you are coming for a lecture in, for example, A institution, and then in the B institution, and then in the C institution on the same day, you're not getting 3 honorarium. You're coming once and you're going once. So it is, conveyance is paid for a day, it is paid once. Bill should be approved by HOI till 10th of the every month as per the existing system, and it is going to change soon. And what is the change? I'm going to share with you in the last slide. If some reasons visiting faculty has not raised the bill and not approved by HOI within the time limit, then the bill will be processed in the next billing cycle. In this case, VF will add the request on Amazon for extending the time period for raising the bill, and the same is to be recommended by HOI for final approval of DINSA. For this point, this is again, a very important point, because almost on daily basis, my team is receiving this mail that I forgot to add my class. I have submitted the bill, or I have not yet submitted the bill, and please extend it. And this request I am receiving on 25th, 24th, 21st, though the last date was 7th. And not even the same month. If Dipankar can correct me, I think we are receiving some such extension messages after 3 months also. Yes, November bill extension VF is writing now. I have forgot to fill my bill for November. Please extend it. That means extension of 7th November 2022 to March 2023, or so in case this much extension, if it's requested, what is the purpose of putting up that check? So that particular things I am going to restrict now, so that, because our authorities, when you are writing to them also, and without writing that also, we have directions, we have that guidance from them that release your honorariums on time. That is a fixed cycle. It should be a fixed cycle. And that fixed cycle can be possible only if you are supporting us, because the delay is not at this end. DINSA office never delays any process. We are not holding your bills anytime. Please note down this thing. It is very important for everyone to understand, because the impression that you people have is that Dean has hold the bill. No, I never hold any bill. Bill delays are only because of these reasons that I'm sharing with you. So if you have not raised the bill on time, or if your HOI has not approved the bill on time, I will not get that bill in my window. If I will not get the bill on window, I will not be able to recommend or approve it. It is as simple as that. It is all automated system, right? So it is very important to follow the timelines and fill your bills accordingly. I am focusing more on bills, because already I have invited my colleagues to deliver about the academic learning, the teaching learning processes, pedagogies and all. My focus is on the system that you people are following when you enter as VF, and when you generate the bills. There are many attendance issues also coming, that you are not marking the attendance on time. You have not marked, so the class is gone. We received a case where faculty claimed that complete week he has conducted the classes, but attendance was not marked before 10. And faculty didn't realize that attendance was supposed to be marked. And when next week this deduction thing came up, that there were no classes held last week, they claimed that no classes were held. You can confirm from the students, you can confirm from HI. Sorry, we are not going to confirm from the students, because system will not take backdated things, right? So you have to mark the attendance on time. Okay, what is left? In some reasons, visiting, so you can extend it. If visiting faculty has not raised the bill of particular month within time, I have already shared 2 to 3 months you are taking for this. Before the bills are sent to DINSA office, they should be checked and verified at the institution level. This message is for my HOIs. HOIs must ensure that they have verified the e-content uploaded by visiting faculty and required to send the soft copy. I have already told you that they are sending me the zip folders for your e-content. The payment will be released only after receiving the e-content and verifying it with the ALMS upload. After the bills are approved by the competent authority, the same will be forwarded to the accounts department for payment, and the accounts department will check the bills and get the same sanction from competent authority for the final payment of the bill. Now, this is how your VF requirement starts. This format is filled by HOIs, and then they raise that this is the course for which this is the visiting faculty we are recommending. There's an undertaking which VFs are not filling. And in particular semester also, those VFs who have not given this undertaking, I'm going to write to HOIs, and you all visiting faculties are requested to submit this undertaking, right? This undertaking is talking about, I have applied as a visiting faculty for the course of this, at this for the even odd semester. Starting from this, I have been given total teaching load of these many hours per week in the same institution. For this even odd semester, I have also been appointed in other MIT institution. The details of my teaching assignment in other institution are given below. Previously, I had worked with MIT in the year of so and so. So this is for the records, and this is also going to help us in your interview time, selection time. Now, this is, your appointment letter that we give you. And here we are talking about the blended mode of teaching learning. It is very clearly mentioned that blended mode has the 4 quadrants. In quadrants, first quadrant, you have to upload the e-content, and it can be, in many ways. Suppose you are preparing the PPTs, make them in a PDF format, submit to HOI a copy and upload on ALMS after just verifying that shall I upload it if you are okay with this content, or do I need to change anything in this, and just upload on ALMS. Now, some of the faculty are doing very, good thing that while they are doing the PPT, making the PPT, they are actually switching on the camera and they are on the camera. So it is, instead of PPT and PDF, it is becoming a video file. So ALMS has an option to upload your resources like simple files, simple PDF files, or video files also. So when a lecture is uploaded, that is quadrant 1. And when students are downloading that e-content and accessing that e-content, after that, they are ready with some queries, because you have given them in, for example, if I take my course, with the content, I have taken practice questions after every topic that I'm finishing, every subtopic that I'm finishing. And those practice questions they have to try so that they can understand whatever they've read in those 5 slides, is it clear to them? If it is not, they are ready to come in my class with that, and I'm writing the reference material. That quadrant 2 is about the reference material. So what URL links they can refer to, what ebooks, if you are providing them, they can refer to, what are the research papers that you are uploading for them on the reference quadrant 2 they are referring to. So all that reference material that you are providing them along with your lecture is quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. And they are getting ready to come to your class, so that those 55 minutes when you are there with them should be completely utilized, fully 100% utilized. They are ready to ask you a few questions. So your expertise transfer can take place in that 55 minutes. You have given a lecture, that is an online thing that they have heard, they have read, and they have done that practice question. Now they are actually having that idea that, okay, this is the topic all about. This is what our faculty is trying to teach us. But I have a doubt, or I want to understand the applications of this. So in my class, I'm going to ask this thing. There, your expertise is actually getting transferred. Because they are asking you the questions based on that particular content and the reference material that you have provided them. So it is a focused class. Those 55 minutes, student will listen to you. They will focus for your class, right? Because, and this is especially for my RTs, because many of you have come to my office that students don't even listen to me. Why don't they listen to you? Because either you are not delivering your lecture in that way, because as Dr. Bansal said, when we, choose to be faculty, ethics and integrity is with us. The only thing is, teaching is an art. And how you are delivering your lecture, how you are transferring your expertise to that side audience is important. And if you are doing so, they will definitely listen to you. Always make, this is for specifically for RTs, but any other external faculty who are new into teaching can be benefited from this. I would request RTs sitting here to stop their mobiles, switch off or vibrate mode your mobiles, please, and focus here. And I would also request to sit straight on the chairs, please. That's what we say to our students also. Stop doing WhatsApping or anything else, because here we are spending our time on Saturday. So this is the kind of thing you require in your class. That was a sample given to you, that in your class, you should have control over your class. You should know that who is your audience, what is the strength and weakness of your audience, And you should know that how you're going to control that class, because this is my course. I am expertise in this course. I have to deliver this lecture. And whatever I want to teach them, it should go in their mind. And that process I have to set up. And that is how, like if I have set up that no one will enter my class after I enter. They were in a habit for 5 semesters to enter the class at any time. But that was a shock to them that they were not allowed to enter the lab session, which is very important. But I had to tell them that server time is very important. Each minute is very important. That's why you are learning computers. Automation क्यों करते हैं? Why? Because the system is to be made efficient. And for efficiency, each minute, each microsecond, each second importance is to be realized. And you might be watching this thing that campus entry system is also there, where now they have realized that 9:15, 10:15, 11:15 means 15, not 16. Right? So importance of that minute is very important. And that's what we can create in our class. So we create in our class that student, you are not allowed to enter my class after I enter my class. And I enter my class exactly on time, though I'm not in the same block. And so this is, if you are punctual to the class, if you are going on time, if you are conducting your class exactly for 55 minutes without even a minute loss, they will respect you. They will listen to you. If you are giving them the assignment and sitting on your chair, using your mobiles, they will not listen to you. They will be busy on their mobiles. As a peer review team head also, I entered one or two of the classes, wherein one of the faculty was taking some presentation from one student, taking a chair, and told him to sit along with him on the next chair. And rest of the class was busy on the mobile phones without the eye cards around the neck. So this is also very important. Such kind of rules and policies, if we will make in the class to tell that we are teachers and you are students. We are going to tell you what to do and you have to do, but in a very decent way, without shouting at them, telling them the importance of it. I just asked them, because I'm an IT professional, so based on that, in my IT corporate, I told them that, okay, how many of you are placed? These many. Okay, how many of you dreaming for going for the placement? These many. Okay, so the company will not allow you to enter even your washroom without your iCard swapping, because that is the status now in all the IT companies. All MNCs have that status. All MNCs have that infrastructure, that everything is automated. So are you going to use that Accenture, HCL, Wipro's card here or not? Yes, we will. Then why not this? This is your identity. You are going to carry this name Amity throughout your life. Then are you ashamed of wearing this ID card? And now you can come to my class anytime. You will find almost 98% students present in the class and all wearing this ID card. And CR himself came to me, ma'am, this photo should be clicked because I have never seen in last 5 semesters this scenario of my class. And that is only possible if you are becoming a teacher on this side and guiding them, mentoring them accordingly. So those who are telling me that students are not listening to you, this particular, examples were for them. And I expect my RTs to catch hold of your respective classes now onwards, in case it was an issue before. So this is already, I have told you that these are the quadrants. First and second I've already shared with you. Third is that your 55 minutes of lecture. Continuous assessment, as I mentioned, that in your presentation itself, you can give some MCQs and some presentations, and that will cover your quadrant 4 also. But if you see your session plan, in session plan also, it is written master session plan is talking us about doing some group discussions, arranging some guest lectures, doing kind of revisions, right? So that particular session plan that you have in your hand, along with your appointment letter, your syllabus and session plan, according to that session plan is based on the master session plan, right? You have nothing to do with the master session plan as such, but you have to copy that session plan, because when you mark your attendance, below you mark your session, which session you conducted today, what topic you covered today, right? So you need to understand that in the session plan, it is very clearly mentioned about the learning outcomes. So session plan is important that way, that what is the learning CLO? course learning outcome. So your lecture delivery and your lecture content should be that the outcome should be what you have specified in that particular session plan. And your session plan, let me tell you, supposedly if you have in sequence the session plan as 1 to 33, for example, and you want to conduct after 3 lectures, you want to conduct lecture number 7 in the sequence. You better know that why you want to conduct that sixth lecture, sixth session before your fourth session. There might be few things that you want to, tell to the students in your fourth session, which actually are going to touch that basic, which is there in the sixth part. So you can always do that. And you can always, because the check boxes are not restricting you to go in the sequence. But sequence definitely helps the student to get prepared for the next lecture. In case you're planning to do any change, inform to the students beforehand, right? So this is the quadrant blended learning, and your e-content is based on this, and your billing is based on your e-content. So this appointment letter, you might have read every word of it. This is the continuous assessment. Just now, Dr. Bansal sir has shared with you continuous internal assessment in end semester. You should be very much clear about the course that you are teaching, whether you have 20%, 30, 40, 45 or 50% of continuous assessment. On first day itself, you should check that what is the continuous assessment that you are going to give. And based on that, whatever is your session plan defining, midterm, that is class test for 10 marks, and obviously 5 marks they have for attendance. But for continuous assessment, if you are asking for some kind of home assignments, or you are talking about some kind of presentations or viva voce if you have planned, so that should be planned beforehand during your first week itself. In fact, before you start, so that in your introduction lecture, you can tell them, this is how I am going to take your assessment throughout the semester. So they are very much clear that, because when they fill your feedback, it is written when the faculty joined, whether the course was introduced to you or not, whether the examination, continuous assessment tools are given to you or not. So everything is being asked in the feedback. It is for betterment of yourself also, that please, as soon as you are selected, plan your complete semester accordingly. You have read this. This is the honorarium part, where it is written 7th day of next month. I'm going to change this part of your appointment letter in the next academic year, but verbally I'm going to tell you so that I can fix up your cycle also for next 3 months. Whatever is left, that is April, May for first years, and April month for, in fact, March cycle also. So March, April and May for the first year VFs, and for seniors, it is March and April. So those cycles can be improved. So don't go by the 7th. What I am going to give you as a change, please note that change. And already I have covered that biometric. Whatever I have just now told you, I have mentioned in the appointment letter. Everything is detailed in the appointment letter. I would request all of you, all visiting faculty, to read your appointment letter once again. But there's a small mistake in that this time, in a given semester. Few of the HOIs have issued you that appointment letter where recording line is still written. Ignore that. Okay, because I am not doing your billing as per the recording. That's the only thing. It is human, error. It is typo error that they have not deleted that line. But nevertheless, we are not considering that your recording must be there because you have received the appointment letter. But you can ignore that. That is deleted in the appointment letter that we have circulated to them. And now these dates will also be changed, but not for your appointment letter. So appointment letter will say 7, but I'm going to give you new dates so that you can do the things accordingly. And I'm going to tell you how efficiently we can clear the bill. So this is very important that, visiting faculty when leave in between. We as a core faculty also, or maybe visiting faculty, the word is attached as faculty. So teaching. When we are teachers, we have to think about the students. You leaving in between all of a sudden definitely affect our students. Their classes for that particular week or maybe weeks. And that affects overall, journey of that semester, internal assessments and other things. So please decide, in case you are planning to join us, it should be a joining for a semester. And in case you have something very urgent which can be covered up in your 1 or 2 weeks, speak to HOI or come to me instead of taking a relieving letter that I want to, leave the organization in between. So that we can adjust some core faculty lectures in those 2 weeks and their lectures can be given to you after your work. But it should not be that you should leave in between, because that affects the students a lot. And in any case, you will not be able to continue, then you must give 1 month notice in advance so that the arrangement for the other faculty can be done on this. So this was your appointment letter. And now this is the process of approval. This is Amazon system now. I'm running through the Amazon system. So Sunil or anyone can help me with this. Anil? नीचे से चेक करना लगा हुआ है लगा है. Okay, so for this system, Amazon system, uploading of the online Amazon VF application by institution. So I'm considering that manual part is over. We have met you, that selection committee has met you, that process is done. But yet you have not received your appointment letter. So then the uploading of online Amazon application is done by the institution. Online VF application is verified. Sorry for this typo error. And that is recommended by this office, Dean sir. Online VF application approval is then done by honorable authority. And then request for your creation of your login ID comes to us in a specific format. You already might have seen that template wherein the HY sends us that particular format. That this is login IDs to be created. So it has many more details about about the VF. And then that is the document is verified, and then that is sent to HR to create your login ID, and your login ID is created by HR, and your institution is informed by HR that now you are the part of this, and this is the employee ID. And then the face detection you are doing there so that you can mark the attendance of the students also, or your presence can be seen. The class conduct starts and your attendance is to be marked. I have written here also, it is only you should mark your attendance. And then after every class, VF must add a class in bill section. What I want to tell here is, in the flowchart I'm telling you, and then in the screen also I will show you, that when you're conducting a class, suppose you have a class, 2 classes today. When you reach, you have given the attendance, most of you might be giving the attendance while you are in the campus, but few of you might be rushing back and then giving the attendance before 10 p.m. You all are aware of it, that the attendance may not be possible after 10 p.m. So whatever class you have conducted will not be visible for marking attendance after 10 if PL has not tracked that. In case you are in a hurry to leave the campus, you have some urgent work, beforehand only tell your PL, respective PL, please track my class. Right? It may be a possibility that you are engaged somewhere and you are reaching your home by maybe some 11 p.m. or so, and you are missing that class. But if it is tracked, you can mark the class till next day that time. So 11 was your class on today, a day before. Today till 11, you will be, you could have marked your attendance. So this is how it works. By 10, you have to mark the attendance. If the PL has tracked that class, you can mark the attendance of your class time till next day also, even if you don't have the class next day, right? So talk to your PL that please track my class. I have to rush from here to wherever, hospital or some function or so, but I will not be able to reach my home before 10. Kindly track my class, because it's the duty of the PL to track all classes. But in case they miss, your class will be missed, your bill will be missed. So that is your initiative to talk to the PL that please track the class, and you should try to mark the attendance before 10. Now, if you have, marked the attendance, that means the class is done. I would suggest you to add that class in your bill sheet same day. There are 2 options there. One is save option, other is submit option. You cannot submit your class each day, because it can be submitted only once. Supposedly you have taken a class today, you have started classes today, you have taken a class today, and if you press to submit button, this month bill is that one class only. So you don't have to use the submit button. You have to use the save button. So add your class and save it. Then on your next class, whatever timing your class is, take out some 15 minutes there itself in that institution, sit there or sit in the library, add that class and then leave. So you can, enter your classes on the same day or within 24 hours, keep on adding the classes so that 30th of March, for example, this month, 31st of March, you have to press the submit button. 31st of March, add your entire classes. That is, all are added. And this is 31st. I have one class, for example. I am adding this class and I am saving. And after the saving, now I can submit, month is ended. Now, while submitting, when you submit, whatever are the particulars there, you are submitting. And this, after submitting, if you want it to open, then the request has to come from HY to my office. Better is, therefore this workshop is conducted, right? We are conducting this workshop to make these intricacies known to you, though you are aware of it. It is a revision of that please don't submit, because then a mail comes that some classes are not added. You are requested to open that. So that process is very lengthy. We have to take an approval, then it will go to the administrator, and the process is lengthy and it will take around 48 to 72 hours. So better add a class on daily basis so that you don't forget your classes. As you are marking attendance, fill the class also, right? And keep on saving it. And on 31st of March, you just press the submit button. But still, I have given you 3 more days in the new system that I was talking about. Instead of 7th, I'm giving you 3 more days, that after 31st March, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd April. And this will be generated on the system. It is not, I can't change your appointment letter, but system I am going to change. So 31st March evening, please submit, press the submit button of your bill so that it can go to the HOI on time. But in case it is not done on 31st, do you want more days to it? Then the cycle will exceed accordingly. But I have given you 3 days to it. Still, if you say that no, at the end of the month, we will do it, don't even give us 3 days. I will not give 3 days. That will save 3 days bill cycle, right? So it is, I've given you 3 days. That is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of the next month. By 3rd evening, 11:59, submit button should be pressed. Otherwise, it will not be available to you to submit. So bill cycle of that month will go to the next month. I will not open that. From extension date from 3rd to 4th or 4th to 5th will not be done. So Dipankar or Sunil is not going to show that mail to me, because we are fixing up the system so that we can fix up the cycle. So if you are not submitting your bill on 3rd, it will not be open for you to submit on 4th, 5th, or 6th. Then it will be open next month, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Okay. So it is in your hand that how efficiently you do that. Now, after 1st, 2nd, 3rd, when you have submitted the bill, the step is that HOI has to approve your bill. So we are giving few days to HOI. That is, I think 10th, I will show in the slide, 10th. Till 10th, we are giving to HOI. So within those days, HOI has to approve. So keep on coordinating with the VF coordinators of that respective institution, telling them that you have already filled the bill on time. And HOI, request HOIs to approve that bill within that time. If that is also not approved, that bill again will go to the next cycle. Right? And if it is approved on time, this office has fixed up only first cycle, that is e-content collection cycle, is only 1 cycle. For your case, you are still giving me the e-content. But from July onwards, VFs will be submitting the e-content 100% in first month. Next cycle, we are just taking 24 hours. But for this time, we need at least 3 days to see your e-content uploading and everything. So 3 days with us. And then it will be taken, approval will be taken, will be sent to, the accounts department. So we are trying to fix up a cycle date so that you can get your salary within 15th of every month, 15th to 20th of every month. And as soon as in this efficiency will increase, that we are getting 100% e-content in the first month itself, then as soon as the HY will approve, we will just take 48 hours to take everything approval and accounts and everything. So this was the point that I explained you, submitted and saved concept. HY approves, I've explained, then bill is verified by this office. Then this office send it for the approval of Vice Chancellor, and then online approval is done at Dean Sain, and it starts reflecting at Accounts Department window. Now this is bill generation step for you, for all VFs. Please note that in your window you see this, your monthly bill. Click on your month bill, select your month, year. These are the details that you select. You are selecting the month. You are adding this class. Everything theoretically I explained just now, I'm showing it practically on the screen now, that you click on add class, and these are the things that you fill, that academic year, semester, what course are you teaching, and if you're teaching multiple courses, then drop down, so you select your course, and then from this date to this date, though I have told you that you can fix up the dates, that is add a class daily. So this is for the March month, a sample is taken, and the time slot of your class was 8:15 to 9:10 supposedly, or whatever is your time slot, you select that. What was the class type, lecture type or practical type, you have to select that. And then you have to see that then, because you are adding the class on daily basis, on 31st of March, you will see the screen like this, that everything is added and there are check boxes on the left side of it. You click to those check boxes and the things are done. And here you will find that there's a back button here, and when you click to this back button, this is what is seen, amount and everything. Conveyance is added automatically. Your bank details comes here, and see the button, click on submit button. This button is to be pressed on last day of the month, and if not, on 1st, 2nd or 3rd, before 3rd of the next month, right? So this is bill date extending after day 7 of every month. There's an option for extension also. You have to fill that extension in this scenario when I'm not changing this, but we will definitely, in fact, we'll send you a reminder. And I think because I have announced Dipankar now, so we will implement it from this month itself, for March month itself. So I would request all of you to add your classes on this Sunday, whatever classes you have conducted till date, so that 31st March you can fill all the classes, so that we can fix up your March cycle also on time. Instead of going for the 7th of April, you are going to sit and fill your classes, and then after 7th, HY will take next 7 days. So better is finish it on 31st. We'll try to release your honorarium on time, this cycle also. So this is date extension, in case still after all my explanation, still you need to extend your bill dates, then this is the link. And then comes HY's role, where HY has to recommend. So see, if you can see pending at HYN, this pending is, we have cleared the pending of July, August now, because there were pending cycles from HYN. Why it is pending at their end, you better know. I don't know whether they are saying you to change anything, or whether they're not satisfied by your performance. But if it is pending at their end, definitely they might have some point. So that is why I'm saying fill it and speak to them. If they are not approving it, there might be something related to that. Go and speak to them, that if I need to change my e-content, if you have any query about attendance, if you have any query about any my class, please ask that. But sir, I have filled. Kindly mentor me, guide me. What is the changes to be done? I will improve it next time. But this is which is filled, so that HY can then approve it as soon as possible. So I've shown you both. Recommendation by HY comes, or pending, both scenario are there. And then it is approved by this end, that is Dean Sign. And now these are the points that I was telling you that I'm going to fix up in the system. Faculty bill submission must be by day 3 of next month. It is next month. I can't correct it here at the moment. So it is day 3 of the next month. HOI must approve after day 7 of every month. That is 3rd April, your stop check is there. After 7th, on 8th, HOI cannot approve. Right? The check will be for 8th of April for March, right? Similarly, 8th of May for April and so on. So 3rd of April is your last date to submit the bill. On 4th, you cannot. So DINSA, that is 4th means 12 a.m. That is 11:59 p.m. of 3rd. That is how we are going to automate in the system. Then DINSA will take 3 days for taking the approval process. And this approval process actually can be done very fast within 3 days. That is 48 hours to 72 hours if you have submitted the e-content. If e-content is not there and you have submitted, in case by any chance, though HOI will not approve it if e-content is not given, but by any chance if HOI has also approved it, then it will be pending at my end because our verification will tell us that it is not uploaded on ALMS. And if it is not uploaded on ALMS, the format that we submit to the competent authority for approval of your bills, that this faculty has taken these many classes, the e-content is uploaded, yes. E-content is approved HOI, yes. Uploaded, yes. So when we do all those yes, then we get approval. So you are delaying, we are not delaying. If you are giving us the e-content on time, if we are receiving the e-content on time, our window will say yes, yes, and it will go for approval. If it is approved from that side, we will just send it to the accounts immediately within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. So this is sent to the account and payment release we are planning from 15th to 20th of every month. That is next month, of course. March salary in April, April salary in May. So 15th and 20th of the month, you will get your honorarium for the previous month. That is your salary cycle. We are planning to fix up for 15th to 20th. So that will be fixed cycle. Now, in case any of your bill is not generated and cleared in this duration, then that bill will be extended for, after this bill cycle, and you will get your salary of this month in next to next month, that is May month. So it is all in your hands. We are just doing the process. And as soon as you submit everything, the requirements, if you fulfill on time, we will not delay the cycle. So if bill not generated by VF, I have already told you that extension approval can be taken. So this is now about the e-content. So I have explained you in depth about the bill cycle. My office is here to support you fully for any queries that you have. But please don't reach my office. You can have a cup of tea at my office. You can come, sit with me, talk about the class, tell me about the students, tell me about their academic learning, tell me about their indiscipline also if they're doing in the class. I will make that everything correct for you. But for billing, don't come to my office. Don't reach to Dipankar or Sunil because they cannot do anything after I am going to implement these checks there. I have very much given in clarity. I think this is very clear to you that the cycle is already defined now, is going to be defined automatically also. And based on that, if you are forgetting anything, you should be ready for that loss that now you are going to get in the next cycle. So kindly don't write to me or through HY, don't reach to me that you forgot that or you forget, because the things are to be fixed then only. We have 198 external and 71 RTs. We have to clear cycle for all, and each VF conducting 3 courses or 4 courses, we have to, verify everything. So this office in this context is very much busy, right? So in case you are forgetting anything, bear that loss and now wait for the next cycle. So you can come to my office, as I mentioned, have a cup of tea, chai pa charcha kind of thing, that you are going to tell me that my class is going very well and the learning is good and my students are getting good scores, or my students are not at all listening to me, my attendance in the class is very less, they are not coming to me. Because you should go to HY first, as to follow the protocols. But definitely when you are planning to come to Dean's office, because we are receiving you here in this office also, but please, I'm inviting you for tea, but not for any bill issues now, because we have made it very clear now. Now, this is the e-content part on which your billing is also dependent. And on this particular part, this is the one thing which we need our students to have on time. So here, if I will put your employee ID that we have given to you, we will get the complete ALMS content that you have. I'm going to show you live also. This is the PPT. So I get the details of what you have uploaded. What is your session plan? How many module content you have uploaded? And the content that we have received from HOI, that is placed in your name folders on our desktops, and then that is compared with that what is given to HOI and what is uploaded here is okay, fine, it is okay, we approve the bill. We are not opening and checking, because considering that HOI is from that domain, from that stream, and they have verified and checked your e-content. But this e-content should be available to the students before your classes, and or after 10, within 10 days of your joining, because maybe you are taking 10 days to understand the system and all. So within 10 days. So this is how I'm showing you one example here, that this is the course detail for one Dr. Ritika Kumar as VF, and then we are receiving that session plan. If is uploaded, then it is green and we say okay. And if anything is not uploaded, it is red and we say not okay. Now ALMS I'm showing you online. So I am unsharing this.
Madam, can we conclude? It's already too.
Yes, sir. Because everything is done. ALMS I'm just showing them online.
I think they will be aware. Any question answers that I think we should directly take.
Sir, let me just complete that part. I will just show.
Otherwise, I will leave because it's
5
already
minutes.
2 o'clock.
Have you uploaded your contents on ALMS? All of you? So you are aware of ALMS? So if I open by a employee code, I will be able to see that. I would request the external faculty also to raise your hand if in case you have uploaded that e-content. 100% e-content is uploaded? Is 100% e-content uploaded?
So see, on e-content development, we will be having one more workshop for the regular faculties also, like how to develop the e-content, and the Dean Research Office is also planning to conduct one rigorous workshop on quality e-content development. So that will be some different content will be there where expert will be talking about the quality of the e-content, because as madam was telling, the e-content is shared, that is okay, but how you will also have some quality to be brought into the e-content, that is again an important parameter.
Thank you, sir. So I'm just taking next 2 minutes to wind up. Here is the click here to download. And so if you have not read, please download this and read the entire guideline how to upload your e-content in case you have not yet done that. It's a complete manual giving you step by step everything. It is highlighted here. What is to be done, the options are given here, and how the screen will look like. Everything is in the order, and you can just go through this guideline in case you have not yet uploaded your e-content. Then on your LMS link itself, there is, after you have read this, then you have to choose your semester, in which semester you are teaching the course, and you select this. And when you select this, you will find that, whatever course you are teaching, you will find that, and accordingly, you can just edit that particular course. So this is how you, upload on ALMS. And as we are running short of time, We can have a different workshop for e-content, but major part is covered. And as you mentioned that you have already uploaded the e-content, then billing cycle for March, April, and May will not be an issue. Kindly ensure that you have uploaded 100% e-content after verification by HY. In that case, I will suggest all of you to send the complete 100% e-content bundle with nomenclature as module 1 set 1. For example, for module 1 I am giving 4 sets of PPTs. Module 1 set 1 topic names covered, module 1 set 2 topic these covered, and that should be the nomenclature. Make it complete zip folder and send that zip folder once again. So in case you have sent in, bits and pieces like only module 1 or part of that or module 2, and that is stopping your bill or delaying your bill, you send the entire 100% e-content and write a mailer there. Respected sir or madam, this is the course assigned to me. This is the 100% e-content which is prepared. Kindly look into this. This is also uploaded because this is the midterm. In this beginning itself, we would have taken the approval and then uploaded. But I think now you have shown the content, but write down it is uploaded. 100% e-content uploaded. Please mark a CC. Mark a CC to Dipankar Chakrabarti. That will help us to release the honorarium at the earliest within your salary cycle. We are not considering that CC is acceptance. Acceptance is only after HY sends us. But we can at least write a mail that your VF has written a mail, kindly verify and send us. Because acceptance will be only through HY. This is, I'm just helping you that putting in CC will help you that we know that you have the 100% e-content given. So we know that this cycle is not to be stopped for you. So you have to also pursue to contents to be reached through HY to us. So this is for today. We have tried our best to give you all those, intricacies, examples wherein the delays are there. If you have any questions, you can ask. And those who are online can raise their hand and my IT team will unmute them.
Yes.
I have never spoken about evaluation. This cycle, this session is not about evaluation. Okay. So your question is related to examination, internal assessment. At the end of the semester, that is 20th April is the semester end.
Right.
Then 3 days after that semester,
By 23rd, we should submit all
the internal marks.
assessment.
Internal marks. You have to upload the internal marks, and there is a button for preview to take the print of it. I have not shown that.
Okay.
That was not my part.
Okay.
Dean FMS discussed about examination. We are here to solve. We can solve your questions. But this cycle, this was about all application process till billing process. This was a session.
Right.
In
So
case
I
you have
was-
joined in between.
No, I was from the beginning. So overall, I was just, summarizing what I understood.
Which institution you belong to?
ABS.
ABS. I think in case you have any doubt, in fact, for examination, Dr. Bansal can definitely clear your doubts. But for all of you, I am taking the same question that as soon as this is the last day of your class, for example, don't even wait for 20th of April. If it is the last day, 10th of April is your last class, you submit within 3 days your internal assessment to the institution.
So, ma'am,
So Excel sheet and uploading, both.
So, ma'am, I want to know that if I take a midterm, right? So, a midterm assessment marks, I can upload on Amazon. Exactly.
You should copy in Excel sheet because you should place on upload everything on Amazon in one go. That is, you have home assignment, you might have Viva Voce, you might have some presentations, and you have divided your internal assessment marks into those different tools. So you have to upload it. You should upload it in one go. You should maintain an Excel sheet for your students and keep on giving the marks accordingly with the evidences of that particular marks. And then on the last day of your teaching, you can definitely take that Excel sheet to the Amazon uploading part.
Okay, so do we
after saving, after submitting, that will not be corrected because.
So what I want to understand is that do we upload it in the similar manner as the e-content is being uploaded?
No, e-content.
Or there is a different section where it has to be uploaded?
Amazon, it is on Amazon. It is not on LMS. Okay.
Okay, that portion, right? Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks.
Still, if you have any doubt, please do write a mail to HY with CC to us. We will answer that. But explore Amazon, please. You have some links on Amazon. Explore that. Okay. Okay.
My date is I upload in
7th of March gone. You want to say that?
Yes, ma'am. Then I asked to HOI ma'am. She approved my extended bill application.
Okay.
And I asked the banker sir to extend. He said ki you have to write a mail to HOI. Then I will accept. I will extend your date.
Because as I said to you that we are not aware of the issues that you have come up with. So 27th of Feb, if you joined, 7th of March was enough time for you to fill only 2 classes or 2 days classes.
But I didn't know to.
You have appointment letter or not?
No.
You have not yet received the appointment. Which institution?
AIAS.
AI?
AS.
AS, that is Applied Sciences.
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the VF coordinator there?
It's Dina Nair, ma'am. But she said some.
No, was any orientation done at your end or not?
Some.
It was given.
Yes, ma'am.
But still that was not filled.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do send a mail to me now directly to Dipankar with CC to me that I have discussed with Dean sir and we will open it.
Okay.
Anyone? Any more questions? Sir, chat window पे कोई question?
Okay.
There are question answers here. Okay, Deepthi Sharma is asking, how can we make up for the loss of teaching hours if I already have a teaching load of 15 hours per week? Extra class on any day would shoot the permitted limit of allotted hours in weekly basis. So Deepthi, because you have not written institution name, I would request you, because I am not carrying my sheet here to know that from which institution you belong to. If you are listening to me, Deepthi Sharma, then you tell your HY to write me the lectures that you have taken, the date of your joining, what is the course given to you as per LTP, how you are getting these 15 hours per week, because 12 hours per week is the scenario. But 15 hours definitely because billing allow us till 15, so you might be getting 15 hours per week. But to extend the billing from 15 to 20, HOI has to write to me about your joining date, and in case you have not conducted the classes in any of the weeks in between, the reason for that. And accordingly, HOI's recommendation for extension till what? 15 to 18 or 15 to 20, that will be verified and will be approved. I hope I have answered you, Dipti Sharma. Next is, how long a VF can be late? What are the penalties of VF? VF is late for 5 minutes. I am not understanding this question. But I have already shared, Samaira Shahid, that 25 minutes if you are late in a class, that class will not be considered. But you should never be late, because now our students are not late. We are not allowing the students to come after 15, that is at 16. So you are not even allowed to come after 5 minutes. You should be on time in the class. Samaira Shahid. I have answered your question. Deepthi Sharma, your question is not clear to me. Who is not validating? Because HOIs will never say that what you have written. So in that case, you can come to my office and speak, because your query is not clear that no one is validating the content. But have you uploaded or not? You have not written that. Okay, Dr. Charusmita is asking that can you provide some margin in punching time for VF, as sometimes traffic jams are not in our hands? Dr. Charusmita, these are many valid reasons that our students are giving us, and so for implementing this system 10:15, 11:15, 12:15, they are getting absent if they're reaching at 10:16 or 11:16, and the reason is same for them also. So we are counseling them that they should reach on time, so they should leave their home on time and accordingly. So if faculty is not coming on time, I will not be able to convince my students. So I would request you to come on time. Please don't ask for delays in your start time. I have answered your question, Dr. Charusmita. Dipakshi Garg. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for the session. Regarding the e-content, how frequently do we need to upload it on LMS? You are not required to upload it frequently. As I mentioned, that before the commencement of the semester, we are expecting 100% e-content availability to the students. Suppose as a VF, you have joined us after the commencement date, take a 1 week time, prepare the 100% e-content and upload all the e-content and send a copy through HOI to this office. For every month cycle, you need not upload it again and again and submit to HOI and again. I am also expecting HOI to send me again and again. So that's the reason I said module 1 to module 5, you have 5 modules, make it for 5 modules, and if you are submitting all the 5 modules in one go, it will make our life easy to clear your bills on time. I have answered your question, Dipakshi Garg. Good afternoon, ma'am. Just one question. I want to confirm maximum number of classes one can take in a day. It is 6. There was a typo at mistake in one slide 5, but I said it is 6. Okay. Dipakshi Garg. Thank you. So you are listening to my answer, Dipakshi. So I've answered all questions which are in the QA session. Dean Academics is sitting here. If you have any question related to the teaching pedagogies that sir was guiding you people. Otherwise, we are at the end of the session, sir. So hopefully this session may be benefited, and you have learned something. And we are going to share with you MS form for a feedback to understand, so that I can understand where is still the gap, and similarly a kind of 1 or 2 hour session can be organized for that particular gap. Thank you so very much. God bless you all.